Hey, everybody. How is everybody doing today?
Rolling right along.
So, thanks everybody for coming. So, today, we're doing our first, maybe of many. I don't know. We'll see how this goes, right? And if people like it, we've got some ideas for doing some other top 5 lists here. But we're doing top 5 RPGs that we really want to get to the table. What did I put in the thing? I put we are desperate to play. Yeah, top 5 RPGs we're desperate to play. That's just to feed the algorithm, you know.
Hi,
But
Chubby.
yeah, good times. So first, as always, I just want to let everybody know that Emperor's Choice is sponsoring us. So we got some stuff there. Yeah, it's just enough to cut Jason off a little bit.
Amazing.
Perfect. And but yeah, there's their stuff. We got they got the box set. I think this is going to be their new box set going forward until they have the new game done, which is going to be 2028, I believe. But we'll be talking to them in a couple weeks about that. I believe August 4th they're going to be on the show. But that's the link for the box set there. And yeah, so check that out. It's on sale right now. I don't know how long it's going to be on sale for. If you back the Kickstarter, you got a bigger discount. They sent you an email with that. So if you didn't get that, email them and they'll figure it out. Yeah, Chubby, Dan seems to I forget his terminology for it. What's the word you use? It's not weasel. That sounds terrible. No, infect's not it. You managed to get on to like a bunch of different shows.
I thought it was Weasel.
Maybe it was Weasel. You managed to weasel your way on to.
I weaseled my way from chat shitlord to stream shitlord.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I didn't even know how you got here. I just one day you just started showing up on the stream. I don't know.
It's like a Pokemon evolution thing.
Yeah.
Next year, if your final form, you'll be hosting. So watch out, Roger.
Oh, there you go. Right. Absolutely,
you, Roger.
So yeah. Oh, Bloodworth. Hey, thanks for stopping. I'm not so much craving to play any particular game system, but more so a game system run by a particular GM. Oh, thanks, Bloodworth.
That's a good list.
Yeah. What GMs that we want
games
to run
want
for us?
specific people to run.
Yeah, it's kind of like I want.
I don't want to embarrass everybody by being the top of everybody's list, though. I mean, that's just.
Oh, thanks, Rich.
I have one GM on my wish list. I said Greenwood.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
that would be really cool.
I met him very briefly at EdCon last weekend.
Yep,
he's awesome. He's awesome.
Cool dude.
Time I've met. In fact, he wished me happy birthday on a video. It was pretty badass. I still have.
Yeah.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's cool stuff. Yeah, it's awesome. Bloodworth wants to play in one of Dan's Hyperborea games. Cool.
Aw.
Cool stuff. Oh, and one of Stan's CNC games. He hasn't jumped into one of your oh no, you don't really run at conventions, do you, Stan? Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to I
haven't yet.
We'll have to change that. Maybe perhaps CNY next year.
You scared him off.
Scared him away.
Scared him off. So he's in the middle of doing some stuff. I don't want to say what he's doing and stuff just in case. But no, he's
assembling his list.
He's kind of in the middle of stuff.
Cocaine's
he's still hand effect thing there. You sort of really called attention to it.
Still assembling list. Want to play more Rogers drinking games. I think you were already there
Saturday
for
night.
Yeah. You guys were there for that. I think Bloodworth, you were the one that I think you outstayed me. So yeah, Stan, good job on that. Dodging the questions there.
Yeah, no, sorry.
So what I got one thing in the mail, came in the mail yesterday. It was either yesterday or the day before. And it was this. It's got one of those illegible covers.
Excellent.
Which is fantastic. That's the thing. It's obviously it says
Amaranth.
Amareth. Obviously, you can read it. It says it right there.
I actually thought it said armpit. And said that I was like, oh, okay, I'm not alone. Good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a sample setting for Dragonbane. It's set in like a different dimension, and there's a whole law and chaos war going on, and there's demons and mutants and stuff running around, and it's just kind of like a crazy little sandbox setting. It's got a cool map and other stuff, and it's a pretty decent book too. I don't think it's a print on demand, because it's got the linen finish cover, and I don't know if you can get those POD.
Is it a free league publication or is it third party?
It's third party.
No, it's a third party.
Okay.
It is, oh boy, Robin Fiarum. I probably botched that, but
most of those you have to apologize to any Swedish etc. type people. Those names are...
Yeah. So it was created under Free League's Dragonbane third party supplement license. So, but yeah, it just seemed really cool, and so I picked it up. The layout's pretty nice. I mean, it's pretty good art, pretty good layout, all of that. So that's kind of important, But yeah, so it's just cool, and I really like that cover art. It's just really, really cool. So that's that.
So it's based on Dragonbane?
It's a setting for Dragonbane. Campaign
cool.
and set it. It's a sandbox campaign and setting for it. So yeah. Jeff, with a game like Hyperborea, it's not the GM that kills players.
Thank you, Roger.
It's the players. The players do it to themselves.
I rolled the targets for those attacks in the open. Okay, I didn't select.
Paul, it's interesting that you bring that up. You might be right. 12 of them are going to be D&D. Keep track if you want, because I'm curious. I'm curious to know how many are D&D clones. So these guys here, what I basically told them, right, and kind of the discussion that we had was, let's do a top 5 list. And now I told them probably, go out to top 10 if you can, just in case. If there's time, we'll talk about 6 through 10. And then if there's time after that, we'll talk about runners up and everything that's beyond that. But I wanted to do at least top 5 and see how it goes. So we'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right, going around. But now basically I told these guys just games, right? Not systems, not settings, right? So, I mean, settings can be part of it, whatever, but like, we didn't want to list like the same game multiple times with just different settings and all that stuff. So I just wanted to do games like systems. So that was kind of how we set it up originally. Now, me personally, when I was making the list, I found it difficult. I've got a list of about 40 games that I want to play, and I was easily able to get that down to like 20. And then trying to get like a top 10 out of that was difficult for me. So I tried to line everything up the way that, I thought it should be. And what I ended up doing is, because I definitely, I ended up dropping down anything that I have ran or played. And so in my top 5, there is nothing that I have run or played in.
Same.
I think anyway. So now that wasn't a requirement.
Yeah, I didn't do
right. So I didn't make that as a requirement. So, so these guys might be different, but for me, I kind of needed that to kind of make it easy on me. And realistically, those are the kind of the games that I want to get to anyway. Like I'm not, like I'm running Shadow Dark right now. Like, so I really didn't want to put any Shadow Dark games on my list, right? Because, which caused a couple things to kind of drop further down, because of that, because I don't want to run a Shadow Dark game right after or during running a Shadow Dark game, So that was kind of what I did. I'm kind of skipping around here, guys. So what? Did you guys get anything this week that you guys want to talk about?
Yes.
I skipped that part. Completely skipped that part. Yeah, I know you got the book. Yeah. So what do you got, Jason? You want to?
Okay. So a couple weeks ago, we were talking about arms and armor, mostly pole armors. We ended up devolving into just a pole arm conversation. So when I was a wee lad growing up in South Florida, my local community had a very small,
thanks, Andy.
kind of crappy library. It wasn't anything great. 15 miles away in Naples was a much better library. So I rode my bike every weekend to Naples, Florida to go to the library because I'm a nerd. And I studied this book. It is 680 pages of weapons and armor greatness. And on page 427, I have an illustration to show you.
Oh, you found
it.
There are over 6,500.
He remembered that page number from his youth.
I did, actually. There are over 6,500 illustrations in this book.
Wow, that's awesome.
There are small write-ups for every single weapon and armor. And the full name is A Glossary of the Construction, Decoration, and Use of Arms and Armor in All Countries and in All Times. The guy spent his life writing this book. He himself had over 4,000 pieces. He worked closely with the Metropolitan Museum of Art, categorizing and describing all the stuff that they had. And when he died, he gave his entire collection to the Met. So it's still there if you wish to see it. Anywho,
cool.
On page 427, it goes into detail about how chainmail is made. So when I was a kid and I saw this, I memorized it because it was a reference book, so I wasn't able to take it home. So I memorized it. I went home and grabbed a bunch of metal coat hangers, a 1/4-inch dowel, and made my own suit of chainmail. Nice. I didn't make a full suit. That's a lot of coat hangers. But I made a male coif. I put it on and it cut me in hundreds of different places. I pulled most of my hair out because I had no clue of what I was doing. I didn't know you should have a piece of cloth over your head before you throw the chainmail on. I didn't know any of that stuff. Learned it quickly though. So anyway, I made my own chainmail coif using this. It was awesome, despite butchering me. So after our discussion a couple weeks ago, I remembered this book, and it took me a while to find it, but I got it, and I have been dying to talk about this thing for 10 days. There is a 1 of 35 limited edition print that I found online. It's $995, which is a little bit out of my price range, but someday it may be sitting on my shelf. If you have any interest in actual real arms and armor from any civilization, and it goes all the way up to modern firearms. It's incredible. Get this. This paperback was $50. You can find it on Amazon. I think I got mine on Thrifty Books, but it is absolutely incredible. Zagig, it is a glossary of the construction, decoration, and use of arms and armor in all countries and in all times. And dude really means it. It is incredible. So there you go. I've been dying to talk about this, and now I'm done. Who's next?
Awesome. That's awesome. Stan, what do you got? What do you got?
I only got one thing, which is good. I got my copy of Silver Bayonet.
Oh, nice.
Yesterday.
Silver Bayonet. Yep.
So I just started reading it, but yeah. Down that rabbit hole of
Jason, can you find can you find that on Amazon or Thrifty Books or wherever and put the link in the
Will do. Yeah, I'll do it right now. Yeah.
And we'll put it on there, yeah.
It's about to be a
cool. Yeah, that's awesome, Stan.
Medieval weaponry encyclopedia.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that at the table though. Game table. Matt, how about you? You get anything?
Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff. So it was DCC day on Saturday. Cool. So I got the DCC day one, and then these were the freebie and a couple for that. So I did that, and then while I was there at Showcase, they had the out of print Lankmar box still on the shelf for MSRP, so I grabbed that because I had the other one, but I didn't have this one. So yeah, so I'm happy
that's
about
the
that.
That's the new one, or the Greatest Thieves of Lankmar.
Yep. Yeah. Since they're not making either of those anymore, so I figured I would grab it. Then I got the new Pendragon book. This game might be on my list somewhere. And then I got a Kickstarter that came in, which is the Free League Invincible stuff.
Oh, mine didn't show up.
Yep. So that just came Saturday, I think. It looks good. I mean, it's year zero engine. It looks pretty good. If you ever watched the show, the wound table is like very accurate to what happens to people in the show, which is kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah. And then
I'm just curious to see if it scales well.
Oh, the last thing I got to be careful with because I actually have a messed up hand. But oh god, there's Roger. There's the.
My god, yeah.
Oh, it's freaking huge. So yeah, that's the 3-volume set for Gods of the Forbidden North. Holy crap! It has to weigh 30 pounds. It's pretty ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah. So I got a lot this week.
Cool. Lankmar's a lot of fun. So fun times. Dan, how about you? You get anything? Getting this week?
I was at EggCon, so I picked up Night Shift.
Oh, cool.
Jason Vey.
You didn't grab that at CNY?
I did not, strictly because of carry-on luggage space. I was trying.
Right.
And I had to leave some things in the hotel room at CNY. So, and then the other thing I grabbed at where the hell was I? EggCon was these GM cookbook things from DM's Org. They're for Hackmaster, but there's like a bunch of like cool tables and stuff in here, and like this one's Critical Hits and Wounds, and they were $5 each. And I was talking to him for a while. He was a cool dude.
Oh, that's not bad.
And yeah, so I picked these up for just random reading. And I like zines, and I really like it when zines are, $5. Not non-RPG wise. The other thing I grabbed was I had a saved eBay search for this, and one finally showed up for a 2-digit number instead of a 3-digit number.
Ooh.
So I was able to grab this, and it's a really nice copy for $42. And
that's
then
cool.
also same seller also posted this, so I grabbed that.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I try and grab those when I see them.
Yeah, save searches are good for that kind of stuff, because every now and again you get some. And the other nice thing too, they're not like old library copies, which drives me nuts when I get that on a used book. Like
crazy stuff. I've seen some stuff out there with they got the little free libraries out there and all that.
Mm-hmm.
People stamp their books, and then some people will go and take them and like sell them on eBay and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen that before too. In fact, I think I have one of those.
Crazy.
Yeah,
it's just crazy to me.
From like a little free library in like Little Rock. Like, why?
And somebody's going there and like cashing out, taking the books. So top five RPGs. So that's so basically what I was saying. That basically what I did was there's nothing on my list that I've played. I've played in or ran in the top 5. And so that's all stuff that I want to get to the table that that I haven't played. So that's, like I said, I didn't put that out there for everybody else. I just kind of ended up doing that myself. Did you guys do anything strange or anything that you guys want to say off the cuff before we get started? Or
most of mine I've done a one shot here or there, but all the things that I have are games that I have never done long form and would really like.
Yeah,
that's what I have.
Okay, cool. And all right, so we're pretty good there. So we'll just do 5 to 1. We'll start. We'll go around in a circle, and we'll see where it goes and where the discussion takes us, and we'll see if this doesn't take 19 hours to get through, and we'll go from there. What Well, we can just start. I mean, sorry, that wasn't in the live chat. Stan, I'll start with Matt and go clockwise, so that you'll be last. Right? Does that sound good? That work for you? I was going to have Jason go first, so I can go last, but that's fine. We can do that. So Matt, do you mind starting us off with your number 5?
No, I don't mind. I only brought props for a couple of these because most of them are going to be really well known. This is the one I don't think you guys will have on your list anywhere. I'm cheating a little bit because it's like two games or like sister games, Spire and Heart. So they're by Rowan, Rook, and Descartes. I've played each of them once at a con at Gen Con. I did Spire at a Gen Con, I think 23, and then I did Heart in 24. So real briefly, so Spire was the game that came out first. The idea behind it is there's a mile tall tower. Nobody knows where it came from. The drow came upon it and occupied it because it was empty. And sometime after that, the high elves came in and basically conquered them and subjugated them and took over the highest parts of the tower and basically made the drow like their serfs and subjugated them. And so the point of the game is basically it's sort of a fantasy Rogue One, or like if you think about like low level Dark Sun, like the original Dark Sun books, is sort of like this seemingly hopeless rebellion against an impossibly powerful enemy. And it's all about like, what are you willing to sacrifice to make like the tiny, small incremental improvements that will eventually lead to, the high elves being overthrown. So that's Spire. And then the sister game Heart uses the same, more or less the same system. At the bottom of the tower, and probably the reason why it was unoccupied, is this kind of magical, somewhat undefined sort of Cthulhian force called the Heart. And the closer you get to the Heart, the more reality starts to come undone. And so the game of Heart is sort of like a hex crawl where you're delving to locations, but the map isn't defined because the locations don't connect in a normal sense. It's sort of like the Heart creates this liminal space that is sort of different every time that you go through it. And once you find a location, it sort of anchors it. So it comes with this map where you sort of identify the locations and how they connect. Spire has weird classes. Heart has like some of the weirdest classes that you'll ever come across. There's one where your body is being overtaken by bees. So like parts of your body have been replaced with like wax honeycombs, but it's kind of like in BioShock, you can shoot bees out and do different things with the bees. That's one of the less weird ones, honestly. They get like, there's a lot of body horror in Heart. It's sort of like if Spire is kind of Dark Souls, then Heart is sort of Bloodborne. They're D10 dice pool games. They're definitely not meant to be played for years. Like they are meant to have like an arc where, like in Heart, your character actually has like a final ability that is this like ultimate kind of flame out that results in your character dying or becoming an NPC or destroyed in some way. There's a subway system in the tower that used the energy from the Heart and had to be abandoned because it couldn't be controlled. So one of the classes in Heart is like the knights that were sort of the guardians and stewards of the subway system. And like their ultimate thing is basically like to sort of cut like a new train. They sort of like morph into like the train and blast like a new hole like through reality and establish like a new train line. So it's stuff like that. So it's neither game is kind of meant to be played forever. So kind of weird games. I really enjoyed the times I played them. They're like themes that I kind of like, sort of the body horror, liminal space, dungeon crawling thing I think is cool. Kind of like a Darkest Dungeon, Bloodborne kind of thing. And then Spire, like the whole sort of Rogue One Andor, but in a fantasy world is kind of neat and sort of, like I read those Dark Sun books as a kid, and those were kind of impactful on me, and this kind of gives me those vibes. It's like obviously we're never going to be able to overthrow these like sorcerer kings, right, or whatever in Dark Sun. And so this is the same kind of thing. It's like this impossible fantasy enemy that is way more powerful than you, but enough rebel cells striking in enough different ways can slowly but surely sort of turn the tide. So that's kind of what that game's about. So I think it requires like a very specific group, and it's definitely like not a super mainstream game. So I don't have a lot of hope that I'll ever actually get to play like a short campaign or anything, but the one shots I've played have been awesome. So that's my number 5.
Cool. Yeah, Chubby mentioned earlier that it would be great if people could actually point to a specific aspect of the game they're looking forward to beyond visual identify. Yeah, and that's exactly. And I think that's.
Did I do that?
Yeah. No, I think you definitely did that. I think that's
totally
that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Shadow, I'll send you that link later on if you have it. All right. Stan, I'm going to move you here. Is this going to work? Oh my God. Is that how we were? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, that's how we were.
Fantastic. Yeah. Wow, Matt, you weren't kidding when you said something that wasn't going to be on anybody else's.
Yeah. And it's not D&D. It's not a D&D clone. So there's one.
Yeah. Right. And I'm keeping track of the system, so I just wrote down D10 dice pool. But so when you guys talk about if you know what the system is, just let me know. So I'm keeping track of everything.
Yeah, it's a D10 dice
Dan,
pool system,
yeah, D10 dice pool. Yeah, I got it. Thanks. Dan, what do you got for your number 5?
Numero uno.
No, number 5, not uno.
Oh, sorry. No, number 1 on the list. How'd that get there? Mythic Bastion Land, actually. So I've heard very good things. Hey, look, it's me.
Okay.
But I've not. I know it's based off of Into the Odd, and I'm familiar with Electric Bastion Land. I have not played any of them. I've heard very good things about Mythic Bastion Land, so I want to try Mythic Bastion Land. And I was actually trying. I know there was a game at CNY. I tried to get into it, but it was full when I checked initially, and also it was at the same time as something else. That was part of the issue with Rogers Con. There's too much cool stuff. So,
yeah.
But like I'm interested in the system. I know it's like kind of OSR ish, but I'm not overly familiar with it. But the thing that I think is super cool, aside from the art, but rather than having a bunch of classes, there's just 72 different knights you can pick from. So there's like the Bloody Knight.
Oh, okay.
And the War Knight, and the Willow Knight, and just like all this cool stuff. And like, so when you're in a game, people can't pick the same knight. And I believe, and if someone knows more than I do, feel free to tell me, that the there's like a seasonal system, right, where you can like get old and die, and then you have to leave your land and your holdings to another knight. I'm pretty sure, and I thought that was cool, because one of the things that I think doesn't really get played enough is like domain type stuff. So I thought that was cool. So yeah, my 5th, since I did it in reverse order, is Mythic Bastion Land. And just because since everybody has been memeing on me, no, my list is not all Hyperborea, because there's only 3 editions of Hyperborea, and Roger told me I couldn't do that. So I don't know who Dr. Drew is.
That's
don't worry, Ryan, we didn't get to Jason yet.
Yeah, Mythic Bastion Land is a good choice.
Yeah,
that's all I'm going to say about it for now.
That's a D20 system, right?
It is. It's a roll under. Yeah, it's a roll under.
It's like it's got right. It's like 3 stats or whatever.
Yep. Yeah. So Cairn and Liminal Horror are built off of Into the Odd, which is also Chris McDowell. So Mythic Bastion Land's kind of a expansion of that.
Yeah, I have
HP hit protection to guard, which was smart. Yeah, because the HP hit protection thing was very confusing, because obviously in every other game since D&D it's hit points, and that was confusing for people. So now it's called guard. And there's gambits in there. Oh, sorry, I might need to
No, you're fine. Like I'm happy to hear more about
I want to talk about it right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we'll put a pin in it. So my number 5 is this is something I really want to run a campaign game in, and that's Classic Traveler. this I kind of want to run a long term. I'd say long term. I really want to do like a hex crawl with it, like a resource management hex crawl kind of game. Basically, I want to run Star Trek Voyager, basically with it, with the serial numbers filed off. But basically, like where the group is is like stranded on a starship with like a bunch of resources and stuff, and they basically got to get across the hex map, and the hex map is going to be blank and just kind of roll randomly what's here and there. And I mean, I've got some spots that are that are going to be pre-planned, but then like fill the rest in with like random hex crawl stuff, because it's got a great interplanetary generation stuff and all of that. And I think that'd be awesome. And that's the system there is it's a 2d6 system. So just 2d6 roll high, 2d6 plus a number against a target number. So it's a pretty simple 2d6 system. And I don't know, I just think it's cool and it's fun, and it's just not something that I can probably easily get to the table, but it is something that I definitely want to run sooner than later. So that's that.
So question, would you use like the lore that exists for Traveler, or would you use the system and kind of stick it in your own?
No, I mean, I could probably use some of the lore. I mean, I don't think it would be an issue to use the pre-made setting. I mean, I don't want to turn it into like a full blown Star Trek game. You know what I mean? Voyager I use as the example, but basically like, hey, here's the map, right? You're trying to get from this corner of the map to this corner of the map, and you don't know what's there, trying to like do, resource management and figure out where to go. And, should we head towards this planet, or should we head towards this planet, or, things like that. I think it'd be fun. So yeah, cool stuff. And who knows? Like, I mean, you might find a spaceport or whatever. I mean, Voyager, they're like away from, human civilization or whatever. Whereas this, like, you could find, humans or whatever, because you're randomly generating stuff. So you never know what you'd find. So, but yeah. Hey, welcome from Brazil. Yeah, Shadow.
Wow.
Traveler, I don't think I would, like I said, I wouldn't translate it, exactly. I guess I just use that as an example of the play.
It feels like maybe more of like a Firefly kind of thing to me.
Yeah, something like that. Like I said, I said the Voyager thing, and all I mean by that is just
no, I know what you mean. Yeah, we talked about
loaded with resources. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
sure
a West.
Else understands.
Yeah, it's like a West Marches in space, basically.
West Marches in space, perfect. Yeah, that's the way to say it. So yeah, good stuff. So that's that. Jason, what do you got?
So when we talked about doing this, I told the group, I'm just going to say free league and call it a night. I have tried not to do that.
It was hard for me to also not do that. 3
of my 5 are free league. But so the first one is Twilight 2000. Like I said, I have done one shot on almost all of these, but I've never played long form. And Twilight 2000, man, I mean, it's meant to be a military campaign. So it's meant to be long form. That's one of the things I really like about it. Other than, it's the typical free league production value. And I don't remember who said, it was Paul, I think. But the production value is what caught my eye, but that's not why I want to play it. The few one shots that I've done, it was really easy for me to just dive right in and picture myself walking through a blasted forest in Poland, headed toward the Soviet border or headed away from the Soviet border. I was born in 1971, so I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and the Soviet Union was the big bad, especially since I came from a military family and I joined the Army. So it was always interesting to me to see this through that kind of mindset. Another game that I really like is Recon. That takes place in Vietnam. That's a Palladium game. My grandfather was in Vietnam. My dad missed it by that much. I grew up in the 70s again, so Vietnam was right there. So this military type thing is always like in my peripheral. This is something that I would really, really like to play. The reason that I haven't pushed Roger to run it, even as a one shot, is this is not a game for Roger. One, he's worried that he said this. He's worried that I would kind of nitpick him, and as much as I say I wouldn't do that, I might. I worry about tactics, and I want the tactics to come into play when we play these kind of games. And man, tactics will make or break your game in Twilight, because you're fighting human enemies that are just as smart as you, have the same capabilities as you. So it's really about how you maneuver and your reaction to given events, more than just see the orc, kill orc. It's much more nuanced than that. You're dealing with a civilian population who's been destroyed by this World War III scenario. So that's why I really want to play it. I have the original version sitting on my shelf behind me. I loved it, and I've played this one, the Free League version, a couple times, and I've loved it every time. There's really nothing bad about it. The system does not use Free League's typical Year Zero engine. I think it's a modified Year Zero, like it uses the 1 through 0 or the 1 through 10 initiative system. It's got really cool dice that I like using. Every time you fire your weapon, you roll these dice based on how am I doing semi-automatic, burst, or full auto, and that determines how many rounds you have or how many you've used. And that one of the things that I really like about this setting is, like, in most games I try and play a ranger, and I've got a bow and arrow. Most DMs don't care if you keep track of your arrows or not. It's just you've got arrows, fire away. With this, there's no resupply. So the only bullets you have are what you're carrying or what you find or what you capture. So like every single bullet, every single caliber, you track down what you've got. And, that gets into the kind of thing that I really like. So that's why it appeals to me. It would be higher on my list, but I've got a great list that I'm looking forward to share. So that's my number 5. There you go.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, like we've talked about this off stream, man, and I'm streaming stuff, but yeah, like my biggest thing is like I don't have, I don't have a military background or law enforcement, anything like that. So like I my use of military tactics and or like my knowledge of all that stuff isn't like a huge wealth of information. So like I think that would kind of
I don't think it's, in fact, I know it's not necessary to play it. When I was at Fort Lewis, I was in a really tight group of gamers, and we used to play Spycraft on the weekends. And Spycraft is like James Bond on steroids. I love Spycraft. There were 4 of us that were all in the military, and there were 2 civilians. And the way the 4 military guys handled their characters was so much more precise than the 2 civilian characters, because there's a lot of military stuff going on. You're taking out bad guys as James Bond, more or less. So, and that's in no way meant to insult civilians. You just look at things differently, because I've been trained to look at them differently. So I don't think you need to have the experience in order to play it or enjoy it. But me having military experience makes me look at it a certain way that other players may not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, one thing, Roger, that might help you, because this has come up for me a few times running games. Like if I were going to run Pendragon, for instance, I'm not, that's a game I'm scared to run, because I'm not, like, I know very little about King Arthur mythology, like very surface level stuff. But one of the few things that I think AI is good at is this kind of thing. Like you could Google, like, what is the rank of such and such in the Polish army in 1996, and it'll tell you, right?
Absolutely.
So there's definitely like some opportunity to fake it that maybe would have been harder in years past. Not that I'm saying if it's not the right game for you, it's not the right game, but like that's something like I've definitely thought about that over the last like 6 months as those tools have gotten better. Like, hey, you know, like the One Ring would be another one where like I would want to play it and not run it because I'm just not like steep, you know, I have a fairly surface level interaction with the lore, but like maybe I could run it and just fake it by like using those kind of tools to just look up the stuff that I'm not sure about. So
yeah, and that like when I ran when I ran Blacklight, right, like the way that I went with that was I went, you know, into Castle Ravenloft with it, so it's got this fantasy aspect to it, and you know,
it's a place
like
you're
that I don't
comfortable.
mind. Yeah, right. So at least it's that. But like to be like in a war, like I don't know, it just seems like I mean I could probably do it. It would just be extra work. On me. It wouldn't feel.
And Twilight 2000 also has a very kind of West Marches kind of play to discover thing to it. Yeah, yes. It's not like you're part of, you know, you're not taking part in like a large scale war. You're sort of just a ragtag group of survivors. It's almost like Stalker off without the supernatural stuff.
One of the critical plot points in Twilight is the last radio message that you receive from command is you're on your own. And that really, honestly, that's one of the reasons that I love it. There is no one come to save you. There's an Apache is not going to fly in and take you away. You are on your own. Survival is completely up to you and how you treat your surroundings and the people that you meet. I just think it's great. Shadow and Sun asked, why not the original Twilight game? If you're asking why am I choosing Free League over the original, the only reason that is because the original is so hard to find. I found mine in a used game shop. In fact, Roger and I were hanging out, and I found it. I grabbed it and brought it to the register, and I didn't even look at the cost of the thing because I have never seen one since the 80s. And I think I paid $80 for it, and I was whistling Dixie when I walked out of the store. I was absolutely thrilled to have it at $80. But that's why, you know, I can't go to Amazon or eBay and buy like 5 more sets of this and hand it out at the table. Whereas Free League, I'm like, bam, here you go. Here's everything you need. So that's why for that. But the original is much more simple. You know,
and I think Free League
easier to play. So
I think Free League has done a pretty good job at keeping like the original stuff like intact and you know, revitalizing it for like they haven't touched anything and done a bad job at
right. You know, and it takes place in a mythical World War III in the 80s. You know, it's like Red Dawn, that era. So you're not going to see, you know, the M1A3 Abrams rolling through or anything. It's 1980s, early 90s weapons. That's what's there. So yeah, I think they did a great job with it. That's it for me.
Yeah,
next,
cool.
Stan's got to go.
Yeah, Stan, are you ready?
Oh, did you get the system for that, Roger?
Yeah, I wrote down Mutineer Zero and moved on.
So my number 5 was this Imperial Maledictum.
Nice.
Wow.
And specifically there's this, but there's the Inquisition books that they've put out since. I would really like to do that because I am a big fan of Warhammer 40K, even though I don't play the game. I like the setting is awesome. It's got a little bit of everything in it. It's got your futuristic stuff. It's got your fantasy stuff. It's got horror. It's got all that stuff. And you can play any style of game with it because this book itself. I mean, actually, I take that back. With this book, you can play just about anything, but you cannot be a Space Marine. That's a different game. It's Wrath and Glory or something like that. But yeah, that was my number 5. It's also a percentile D100 system.
I was going to ask. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was a percentile or not.
Pretty sure. Yep. It's a bit crunchier than most games that I want to or are interested in playing, but because of the setting, that made the list.
Yeah, I have those too. They're on my list somewhere. I think also they're really cool books. I just like to read them.
Yeah.
They're like the Warhammer stuff's so cool to read.
Yep. That's one of the things about the Imperium Maledictum books. If you just like the lore of 40K, they're worth having because they really just break it down, and it's because that is a hurdle. Like it's almost like a Lord of the Rings Middle Earth level hurdle of knowing the lore to run the game. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much of it; it can be very daunting. And the books, the game books, do a really good job of just like giving you that information in digestible chunks.
Yeah.
Edgelord, you cannot be a Space Marine Imperium Maledictum. That's a different game.
But what about a Chaos Space Marine?
No, definitely not.
They're a different color.
They're also godlike beings, so no. They have a game for that.
Yeah, Shadow. Yeah, the guys are going back and forth about Luke Hart. He that's his way of handling 5e combat bloat. Is if the players are winning, he just puts a veil over combat, and you guys won. Okay, the fight's over. That's which I mean, that's one way to do it. I guess I can't complain about that too much, but then it's also like, why bother do combat?
Yeah.
But
I would like to experience the win every now and then. Oh, look, we're losing, so feel free to beat the crap out of me for half an hour. No,
like, yeah. So I don't know, but yeah, yes, Full Metal, Wrath and Glory. Yeah, that's the one, the Space Marine one. Yeah. That's that. I have Rogue Trader, made a character for it, and then never played the game.
Isn't that supposed to be coming back out? Because it's been out of print for a while.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be. I bought Rogue Trader because I think it had a Keith Parkinson cover. I'm pretty sure. I saw it and I was like, "Oh, this looks great." And then I took it home and read it, and I was like, "Man, this is incredible." Couldn't find anybody to play it, and I got rid of it. And I looked a couple weeks ago.
That's too bad.
Oh, it's worth a lot.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I looked a couple weeks ago. I was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to pick that book back up." I was like, "Good Lord, no, I'm not."
That's another reason.
It wasn't Rogue Trader. It was Dark Heresy.
Oh, that's another one. That's the Inquisition.
Dark Heresy was the one.
Yeah.
Well,
that's why I've been getting these too, is because if you look at those old GW RPGs, they're stupid expensive on the secondary market. And so I'm like, well, I'm going to snag, I got both the Inquisition books. There's an Adeptus Mechanicus book coming out. I plan on getting that as well.
That too.
And it could be very much a guilty collecting pleasure as far as like if I never get it to the table, but they're definitely worth their money later on.
Yeah. I always thought Rogue Trader was kind of also like Firefly, but in the 40K universe. It was like a really cool. Yeah,
sure.
I keep hearing they're going to bring it back because they made the video game, the CRPG, and that did pretty well from what I understand. So,
they're making a Dark Heresy Inquisition game too. The same company is.
That should be fun.
Yeah, they do really good because that company, it's Owlcat Games. They did 2 Pathfinder games based on APs, which were really good. And I have Rogue Trader. I haven't played it as much as the Pathfinder games, but it's good. It's really good.
And those Pathfinder games are really the only worthwhile way to play Pathfinder 1.
Yes.
And now nerds will get mad.
It does all the math for you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What
Death Watch.
Dan, don't give away spoilers. Let them go back and watch it.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to be a good friend.
Go back.
I forgot about Death Watch was in that series
too. You missed it, buddy.
Death Watch was the one where you played Space Marines and you were basically like mowing down, your attacks would kill like 100 mooks or whatever because it was like that was a fun one.
Death Watch is attached to the Inquisition.
I'm just kidding, Agile.
Yeah, they're like the most powerful of the Space Marines or whatever.
They come from I just remember the chapters.
The bolt gun could kill like 100, like regular people. It was just mow down, dozens of people per attack.
Yeah, they're interesting. I like the Death Watch actually.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. I'm sorry. Matt, what do you got for a number 4?
I didn't bring this because everybody knows what it is. So and I may be cheating a little bit. So if you guys need to boo me, you can. But so my number 4 is Old School Essentials, and I've actually only played it once. I obviously have played BX and first edition back in the day, but the reason why is I have this increasingly large collection of OSE and OSE adjacent materials. So like Stygian Library, the Lazy Lich stuff like Woodfall and Willow and Haunted Hamlet, Fever Swamp, Ave Nox, Valley of Flowers, Vast in the Dark, the Merry Mushman stuff. All this stuff is like some of my absolute most favorite stuff in my collection, and it's all pretty much keyed for OSE. That's my number 4 would be ideally to actually get to be a player in kind of any of those things that I've kind of some of them I've read, so I probably couldn't play, and others I have kind of just flipped through and I'm purposely not reading so that I can hopefully someday play them. It doesn't matter, because like I said, in this scenario I'm playing, I'm not running it, so it's not like if someone was like, hey, I'm gonna run Valley of Flowers, and I was like classic or advanced, and they said the wrrong one, I'd be like, I'm not playing then. Like it doesn't matter, I just want to get to experience those materials. So that's why, I mean, I'm not, OSE itself, I have read both books a lot of times. It's like one of my kind of go-to, if I just feel like I want to look at the right way a book can be laid out, or how to communicate something, like things that I'm working on my own for modules, like the way their modules are laid out. I know there's some debate, like if you bookend, there's like the OSE like house style, and then there's the Goodman Games style. They're like the polar opposites of how you communicate information and how you lay things out. And I like both games a lot. So, but I find that to be a really good source just to go back and read. And it does kind of like when I get in the mood to read the BX or 1E stuff, I usually get about 5 pages in and go, ooh, these really aren't they're really not that fun to read. And then I'll just grab OSE and be like, this is so much easier to digest this information here. So, that's my number 4. So there you go. I think they did a fantastic job with their, I think they did a fantastic job with their advance too, where they basically took some stuff from like 1E and like that and sort of made it work within the basic framework. So they made it easily digestible kind of stuff there. So I don't think it's that much of a step up in complication. There's just more of it. So and I mean, and now they're doing away with, not doing away with basic. They're just only going to print advanced now as their main thing. I agree, Ryan, with that 5e just makes it so that people have to have bizarre fixes.
Don't make me get my sign if you keep talking about 5e.
But OSE is a good one. That was further down on my list. It fell in with everything else.
I have some honorable mentions that are OSE adjacent.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a boring vanilla thing to pick, but it's like I said, it's really just that the game is laid out really well. It's more to play
the stuff that you have.
But there's so many good, like the last 5 years, there's been so many amazing things released that are kind of keyed to OSE, and I really would love to dig into those.
I mean, it's a super solid game too. Like you can, like I said, it's on my list further down as well. It's great. I've only played it a little.
Maybe I'll run some OSE online, and we'll run through some of that list.
Yeah, cool. Nice.
You find something on my list that you want to run, and we'll trade.
Right.
Dan.
All right, number 4.
You're number 4.
My 4. I got it right this time. Let's see. There we go. So 7 Voyages of Xylarthan. This is an OD&D inspired game that is very popular on the Classic Adventure Gaming Discord. So it's kind of like Sinbad sandals and sorcery. There's some Arabian influences in there, so I'm interested in the setting. But there's also a mega dungeon for it, and this is why I want to play it. I want to try this mega dungeon out. So it's I think 6 levels, a couple hundred rooms. It's called the Hollow Cloud. It's a floating castle in the sky. And I've definitely been on an OD&D kick lately, and like OD&D clone type games and reading through them. And when I was reading through Seven Voyages of Larthen, I was like, I want to play this. So I'm going to try to find a way to play this year. I'm intrigued. I think it would be awesome. Edgelord says I am right. So therefore I am right. Thank you, Edgelord. But it is an OD&D clone, right? So we all know it, have played it, experienced it. I don't think there's going to be anything like, super crazy mechanical wise to glean from it, but I'm interested in the setting. I'm interested in the mega dungeon, as I said. And, one of the cool things is when you do play a lot of like D&D style clones, you can usually pick up cool house rules to steal. So the PDFs are on drive-through. The books themselves are on Lulu if you want to get them, and they're cheap. They're like $10 each or something like that. So that's my number 4.
Nice. Yeah, OD&D is like on my long list. Like OD&D and all of that stuff.
Like actual,
I didn't
actual proper OD&D.
Yeah. Well, OD&D or anything that's
it is
related
Seven
to
Voyages
it or whatever,
of
like
Zylarthen Shadow.
Yeah.
ZYLARTHEN.
Not spelled with an X like I think it should be, but that's fine.
What do you know?
That's fine. Oh, X card's been thrown. So my number 4, is that where we're at?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry. Numbers are hard. This is another thing that I kind of want to run a longer campaign of. But obviously I'd want to start with like a one shot and make sure it's for everybody, and then do something longer. But that's Call of Cthulhu. I've got the starter set here. I'd like to run, Masks. That's like the one that everybody, talks about and all that. And that's like a couple of year campaign. And
you can do it in a year.
I would love to, you could do it in a year.
Do it in a session. We did it in a year during COVID.
Well, I'll do it in a session. I mean, you're skip to the end is how you do it in a session.
Or you just get murked right off the bat because it is Call of Cthulhu. But no, we did it. We did it in a year. We played like every Saturday night for a year. It was awesome.
Yeah,
best campaign I've ever played
so
as a player I've ever been in.
Yeah, so that's definitely something that I'd want to that I want to do. And like I said, I want to run the one shot, but I want it to lead into a longer game. And like I don't know, for me, like I've always ran like D&D and D&D clones and all that stuff, and so that's hard for me to get away from that. So like I would love to run all this stuff, but I really don't want it to interfere with my normal weekly game. So I would have to have a second game, and that's going to be hard to set up a group for and have the time and all of that. But I'm going to try and make the time though. So to do that.
Are you familiar with Masks? Have you like read about it or ever seen it played or anything?
Oh, very, very little. Yeah. I mean, I've seen some stuff online and watched some videos on it and all that. And I've looked at some of it, but not like an in-depth.
I think one of the things I like about it the most is like all the locations have these kind of side quests. It's sort of like, the way X-Files or Fringe would have like the overarching mythology plot episodes, but then they'd have these kind of unrelated little monster of the week, like side episodes. Some of those little like side things in Mass are like so cool. I think they did such a good job kind of making this amazing campaign that's like 50% of what's in there, but then the other stuff is like also amazing, even if it's not related to the main like plot. It's just really, really cool.
I bought it while we were playing it, but I never even took the plastic off it until we finished the campaign. And it was fun to look at it like afterwards, and like the stuff that we didn't get to, like I'm like, Australia? We never went to Australia. What the hell? Like it was really neat. It's really, really good.
Yeah. I have the PDF of those Shadow. Those are awesome. Those cards. So I do got to print them out. I got to find a decent card printer where I can have the set print instead of me printing them and laminating them.
if you wanted to do just like a one shot, there's a modern Call of Cthulhu. What's it called? Viral? I think it's Viral. Yeah, Viral. Bud from Bud's review room that just passed away recently. He was one of the co-writers. That's like a really, really, really good Call of Cthulhu module. And I like the modern stuff sometimes because you get, like I told you before, you get to dodge all the funny talking and did they have XYZ?
Yeah.
Were zippers invented yet? Like that kind of stuff. So, if you want to sort of see if you like the system and kind of wrap your brain around it, like that's a good, like I really highly recommend that one. I ran that a couple times. It's good. It's creepy. It's a good one. Viral.
It's Viral.
Viral. Yeah. It's on drive-through.
Yeah.
I'll have $9 on drive-through for the PDF.
I'll definitely. Yeah. I'll definitely, look into that and see. And then you can use the game for modern.
Mm-hmm. It's same rules.
You could just use the same. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. They like slightly modify the skills a little bit for modern, right? So there's like computers, which you don't have in the 20s and 30s. Sure. It's like, but it's very minor. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah, so that's something I definitely want to run. So, but I'm going to try and figure out a game day, like during the week, whether it's a Saturday or something, and do something. I don't know if it's going to be like every other day would be like in person, and then every other week would be online with a different thing. I don't know. I got to figure that out. So this way I can play with a bunch of different people, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So that's my number 4, right? Is that where we're at? 4. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Jason, your number 4.
My number 4 is the second Free League game, Forbidden Lands.
Oh, yes.
And that's why. That reaction right there is why.
So good.
Unfortunately, this is one of the few that I have, my entire collection, that I have never played. I've read a ton of it. I've read through all the books. And I hate being like, oh, it's a great setting because it's just such a cheap and easy out. But honestly, man, that's what it is. I really like that the humans are the bad guys, or, globally speaking, as far as the realm's concerned, the humans are the invaders. They're the bad guys. I always like to play the heroes. I usually play good alignment, but that's not what this game is. And because that is not what this game is, that would allow me to play something completely different from what I usually play. And I'm interested in it. I think that would be interesting. I would be remiss not to talk about the production value. I'm sorry, Paul, but I have to. Free League in general, their production value is always incredible. Man, Forbidden Lands is freaking nuts. I don't know how they make money off of this set because it is absolutely incredible. The books are gorgeous. The map is incredible. And, for those of you that have never really looked at it, it's not like here's a map, you can go to town X and do this. Here's a map, start walking, and you're going to see what's in that hex when you get there. And it's got these little stickers that you put on the map. And so now it's random, but what you do and which way you go determines how the world grows around you. I just think that's really, really cool. I mean, this is a sandbox. In fact, it's advertised as a sandbox RPG, but it is the most West March of West Marches that I have ever looked at. And that really appeals to me. We actually talked about it this weekend. I play with Roger, for those of you that don't know. I play with Roger's house every Sunday. And we finished up last week's adventure. So we had a lot of time to kind of sit around and talk about what we wanted to play in the future, what we may or may not play. And Roger's focus is on a West March, and he wants to do a long campaign. Like he's talked about it. I want it to be 40 years. I'm down for that. And I looked at him and I was like, man, I don't understand why we're not playing Forbidden Lands, because this game has everything that you say you want. But for right now, Roger's got his eye on other prizes. That's fine. But it's right here if you change your mind.
Can I tell you a secret, Jason?
Certainly.
The only reason it's not number 1 on my list is because I've run it before, but I do have 2 of the setting books I haven't played as honorable mentions.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah,
I love Forbidden Lands.
I just think it's so cool. I would love to see it at the table and play it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean,
sweet.
It's like Roger. It's got a lot of the stuff. It's kind of interesting, Jason, because it's got a lot of the same stuff as Twilight 2000, except it's fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Year Zero, similar kind of play to find out. Like you might like that one a lot, to be honest.
So, I'm not going to say that I'll talk more about this later.
Fair enough.
But is this one of the
but we might-
crossovers you predicted with
so
Jason?
my yeah, so maybe spoilers. So
Spoiler alert.
my whole thing is that if I run Forbidden Lands, I'm going to run it in the campaign setting that I already have developed. That would be my. I know that you like the story, the story of it, and all of that, Jason. But like that's where I would run it because I have this world already developed. So whatever game I run next in this, world is going to be in this world.
Sure.
And that's going to change the way that a lot of the stuff works.
You already use a lot of random tables during the game. So I don't think our experience will really change that much. It's a really stable system to me. I like the way the characters progress. I like the the opposing encounters that you run into. I think there's
I'm just saying setting wise,
sure.
Like there's a lot of stuff with like the way, like where elves come from and like all of that. Like the dwarf thing is, I'm okay with them being, the builders of everything and all of that. But like the elves, the elves are basically aliens that land in crystalline form, and spoilers, by the way. You know what I mean? I mean, there's like a whole thing that just doesn't, vibe, but, but we may or may not talk about that, in a few
minutes.
So
I really like the halfling lore in that book.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the split. There's a 50-50 shot that you're going to give birth to
a halfling or a
mini
goblin.
human or
a goblin.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And the parents are like bastards. Like they're just awful.
Yeah.
They're not. They're not. They're not from the Shire.
Yeah.
It's kind of very different.
Yeah.
The China one-child policy. Oh, a daughter.
Sure is.
We don't want that one.
Right. Yeah,
they beat up their parents or whatever. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's really cool.
But yeah, so there's definitely stuff. So if I run it, like I would have to do away with the lore and just use my own, which I don't think would be a big deal. But that would change some of the races and classes around. But,
sure.
But that's that. So Stan,
they maybe just
sorry,
quick
go ahead, Matt.
From the it's a last comment there about whether they're still making stuff for. I mean, it's been a while. Like it's still in print, most of the stuff anyway. Although certain, like the dice have been hard to find. They go for like $50 or $60.
They can be expensive.
Yeah. So
I don't care about the dice though. I think you need to have the different dice because you need to know whether the weapon die rolls a certain thing, but it's only white, red, and black dice.
Yeah, there's ways.
There's ways around it.
I can buy white, black, and red dice.
Yeah,
in bulk,
but I mean, the point is that they don't. So the dice don't come with the box set, and they're not in print. And then, like periodically, the materials outside of the core box set have been hard to find, and they have nothing new on the release schedule. So I don't know if that's just a game that they consider kind of done, or they've obviously relaunched Coriolis. They relaunched Alien. They're and they have another one, don't they? They're redoing. I feel like there's one more.
They're redoing Symbaroum. They just did
Symbaroum, yeah. Right. Yeah.
So to that point though, when I was at GaryCon, I bugged the shit out of the Free League rep about Forbidden Lands, and she did say they will be doing a reprint of it possibly as soon as second half of this year. Nice. I don't know if that just means they're doing a print run or if they're doing the Symbaroum thing and doing a Kickstarter and all that, but she did say a reprint was coming. So
okay. Cool.
It's entirely anecdotal from a random idiot on the internet. You're welcome.
Yeah. Stan, you're number 4.
My number 4 is Shadowrun.
Shadowrun, nice.
Yep. Big fan of Skyrim. Actually, just started playing it again, so I've been.
I saw you playing Skyrim
earlier.
earlier.
Yeah, that was me.
I was playing Black Flag, and I logged on. Oh, Stan's playing Skyrim.
Yep. So I've been playing that, and I have a few players that are big Skyrim fans as well, so I think they would dig it. So yeah, I want to get this one to the table at some point.
It's really good.
Yeah, and I talked to you on the side about it and stuff. And
yeah,
it sounds awesome. I think they did a great job.
Honestly, man, I have nothing bad to say about it. It's for me, it's another Chubby Funster home run. I think it's great.
It looks great.
Yeah,
it looks great. I like the way he set it up with the signs and all that stuff. It has that very much the Skyrim feel to it. And
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Stan. Go, please.
Much better than if you took. I don't know. For example, if you took 5th edition and tried to shoehorn it into, it's not going to work. It's not going to. You're going to lose the feel because everything's very different. And I think Chubby did a great job reading through it, capturing that feel of the game.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Skyrim, and when Modiphius secured Fallout, I thought, okay, they're going to be in bed with Bethesda, and soon we're going to see a Skyrim game. And I started thinking about it. I was like, I don't want to use the 2D20 system that Modiphius puts everything under. It's kind of clunky, and I don't really want to deal with it. So when I saw Chubby's, it's a Shadowdark version. It's not Shadowdark. You can play it completely without Shadowdark. But it was like, man, this really feels like I'm playing Skyrim. This is awesome. So it's super easy.
Well, you need the
great flavor.
You need the level up mechanics
from Shadowdark.
Yeah.
Well, the
leveling and the basic dial stuff.
Yeah,
but he doesn't mention the XP. He doesn't mention XP in there as far as the XP to get to the next level and all of that, and what the basic stats, stuff that we already know.
Yeah,
but it's not a.
I'll have to.
It's not missing much.
Yeah, because you don't level up as a fighter. You level up under what sign you're on, and then you can spend gold to basically multi-class.
Yeah, there's no classes per se. It's all under your sign.
Yeah, yeah. You basically pick your race and your sign, and there's your character. Run with it.
Yeah. But I think all that stuff in the beginning of the book is missing, the stuff that tells you what all the checks do,
the XP, and
you know what I mean. Which is normal for everybody here to know.
Yeah,
what all that stuff is.
When I ran Shadowrun, I did not even bring my Shadowdark book with me. It didn't even occur to me that I might need it.
Yeah, right, because you don't really need it. Yeah.
For some reason in my mind, I always felt like if they were going to do an Elder Scrolls RPG, that would be something more like Warhammer Fantasy, like 2E or something, because of the way it goes 1 to 100. It just feels like that. I mean, you can map that to a D20, I guess, but it's shocking that they've never done something. I mean, if they did, it'd be something stupid, probably like Renegade would do it, and it would be a bad 5e kind of thing, which would suck.
And that's what I was worried about. And that's why when I found Shadowrun, I was like, oh, thank God I got this, because this is awesome.
Yeah.
And Edgelord,
it's shocking that it wasn't done. Right.
That game's 15 years old. Why did it take so long to secure a license, or why has it taken so long, to see an official product? I've never seen one. I don't know if it exists in any form outside of what Chubby's done.
Because Bethesda was more interested in making sure that you could play Skyrim on your Samsung smart fridge.
I would get it. I would yell "Fridge throw die" at my fridge and wait for it to throw ice cream at me.
Yeah,
I would also do that.
Pass the milk and the Daedra heart at the same time.
Right. That's
exactly.
Right. Mr. Crane, you're low on frost salts.
Brother Anselm, any of you lads train fighters, boxing, martial arts? I find it helps to understand what combat. I did some longsword training. That's about what. That's about the only kind of
I used to play
fighting or
Tekken
whatever
and Street Fighter as that game.
I'm 300
Oh,
pounds. No.
Yeah, absolutely.
I studied praying mantis kung fu when I was stationed at Fort Irwin, but that was 2 years, and that was 1994. So it's been 30 years. So no, I am not a trained fighter.
RPG Dad, like
Decado was.
Skyrim is a setting for basic fantasy. Man, check out Shadow Rim. I mean, I don't know if you've. I mean, it's really good. I mean, I'm not a Skyrim guy, but like, I mean, I've got that book, and I think it's a fantastic job, and everything's there, and you really don't have to. You don't have to do anything, because it's already kind of there, set up. The random kind of encounter charts and stuff are already, like, everything's loaded with stuff that you could use, and I mean, I think it's just fantastic. So I would definitely check that out, even if you're going to run it at Basic Fantasy, which I wouldn't. I'd just use that. I mean, use it for all the information that's in it.
Yeah.
So,
and Dad, there have been a couple of Skyrim board games.
Mm-hmm.
Some have been not good at all. Mm-hmm. I have one that I absolutely love. In fact, I played with Roger, and I kept looking at him and saying, "Man, I feel like I'm in Skyrim." It's really good. It's also it's very.
The problem is the 45
time.
Minutes that it takes to set up to play an hour game.
Yeah,
and that goes away if you could leave it set up.
Yes, exactly.
But having to separate all the decks and lay everything out and count 10 cards down and shuffle these and all of that and it's different for every. That just gets. Really, really old.
Play it the night before CNY this year, but Edgelord was not able to make it, so I didn't bring it.
Edgelord bailed.
Next year, we're gonna do it, man.
I'll believe it when I see it.
We were also supposed to play Blacklight the night before CNY this year.
Anyway, Matt has got a number 3.
All right, so number 3, this is a game I have not played at all, which is Dolmenwood. Really kind of between Dolmenwood and Pendragon and Mythic Bastionland, there's like this very real and actually Valley of Flowers is kind of same kind of thing. I don't know if it's like from the Green Knight kind of kick-started this or if it was already kind of happening, but there's this very real kind of renaissance, I guess, happening in this kind of space. And I definitely think it's really cool. I mean, Dolmenwood is sort of that sweet spot of very close to OSE rules, but it's a totally different fantasy world. So you get to have all new classes and races, and then you're fighting monsters that are not. It's not an ogre or a troll or just so you don't actually know. Like things are happening. You don't know like what to do or what they are. I sort of really like that, level 1, 2, 3 D&D Shadow Dark feel of like it's fantasy, but it's also almost horror because you're so fragile and every monster hit is potentially going to kill you. And so that sort of weird kind of fairy tale fantasy space that Dolmenwood is exploring, I think is really, really interesting. And then again, I guess we're not supposed to talk about this stuff, but the production quality and just how beautiful those books are. I mean, they are just absolutely incredible. And I think he said that he spent like over 10 years working on those. And it really shows. I mean, they are just like honed to perfection as far as usability and presentation and production value. So, that Dolmenwood's definitely one that I would love to get to play.
If only the books were normal size.
Roger, you've done a session of Dolmenwood, haven't you?
Yes, sir. With Chubby,
Chubby talks about different stuff. I follow Chubby on Patreon, and he was discussing the lore of Dolmenwood.
Yeah, I have not run or watched any of Chubby's, or read or watched any of Chubby's stuff on Dolmenwood only because I'm in the game. So I don't know if he's dropped.
No, it's not. That's not really it. His question was, if you have a player that is really deep into the lore, because Dolmenwood is so huge with lore, and it's brand new. So Chubby, of course, has not read the thing cover to cover. He doesn't have it memorized. how do you, Matt? I'm assuming that you've looked at it. Roger, you playing it? Do you feel like the thickness of the lore, all this stuff that's in there, do you feel like it kind of hampers the game at all, or is it just kind of we're going to learn it as we go?
I mean, I guess it depends on the kind
I'm more of a learn it as I go.
Yeah, I guess it kind of depends on the sort of player you are. I mean, like I like to just kind of discover stuff as I go. I don't need to feel like I know the answer to everything. I think there's a tipping point. Like I struggle with Traveler specifically because it's been around for so long and there's so much lore and it's so dense. And you know, like there's so many star systems and aliens, and these aliens don't like these ones, and there's these fake wars that happen, and there's these different guilds, and there's so much. I don't think that Dolmenwood is like that. There might be some amount where it's helpful to understand a little bit of what's going on, but I don't feel like you need to have memorized this whole thing to enjoy it.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah.
I'm in Chubby's Dolmenwood game with Roger. We just started. We just had our first session on Saturday. I've also run Dolmenwood, not a lot. I think we ran 4 sessions and they TPK'd, and then my friends were kind of like, well, they were 5e kids, so they thought it was too hard. They died to Sturgis. It was hilarious. But there is a ton of lore. And when I was getting ready to run it, it was kind of imposing for me as the referee, because I'm very much a know the world and like respond to what the players do as I imagine the world would do. And there's a ton of stuff in Dolmenwood to learn if you want to do that. But I do think you can kind of peel back the layers of the onion. The book is very well laid out. I think mechanically, a lot of the Dolmenwood stuff is going to wind up in the OSE reprint that's coming. Personally,
Yeah,
I think it's
for
gonna be like,
sure.
I think Death's Door is going to be there. I think Roll High Skills is going to be there, and some of that other stuff. So I think you'll see some alignment across the Necrotic Gnome product ecosystem with that. But cool. I do think it's a very cool world. It is imposing to get to, but you can decode it. And one thing I will say is that as referee, one thing Chubby's doing, he talked about this a little bit in one of his Gods of the Forbidden North videos, where he kind of, it was one of the early ones, where he like basically gave jobs to the different players. Like he had like a quartermaster, and he had like, you know, like there were like 3 or 4 different things. One was like a historian of the world lore that he handed the player lore book to. You can do that with Dolmenwood, and he's kind of done that. So like he gave me the job of, I'm always the note taker guy anyway in all my games. And so in Dolmenwood, I'm keeping track of the notes in a handout in Roll20. But in addition to what I normally do, I'm keeping track of like the time passage, because Dolmenwood has a calendar. So Greg doesn't have to worry about that. He had his son, Grant, dive into a bunch of the ancillary lore, like the different types of alcohol, the different types of pipe weed, and like all that kind of like stuff that is really good for the setting, but it's probably pretty low on the list for the GM to know. So you can definitely do stuff like that.
That's cool. Yeah, you know, Mike has it. And he, a couple of weeks ago, he's talking about, you know, I'm probably just going to get rid of it. Everything I keep hearing about this game, I'm like, oh man, I want to read the books. It sounds incredible. So if he ends up getting rid of his, I am most likely going to.
I mean, if you want to read the books, I mean, you're welcome to borrow mine. I mean, you know,
all right.
When I'm in Chubby's game, I print out the pages for my class, and you know, so I got that stuff in front of me, and I've got the PDF that I can search up if I need to find something. But I don't, you know what I mean? Like I don't need the book in front of me if you want to borrow it and you know, read them or whatever.
Honest, there's as long as you didn't read the monsters, there's nothing you could spoil for yourself. There's so many factions in Dolmenwood, and like we have no idea which ones we're going to interact with. We have no idea how Chubby's going to play them. So like,
no, and I just meant like watching Chubby's videos or like root Chubby's posts, because he's probably going to post stuff that's going to be pertinent to what we're doing at the time.
Yeah.
And as far as like the lore goes, like in something like that everybody's new with. I'm like way into, let's figure out the lore as we play, you know what I mean, and learn it that way. You know, I know the characters should know what's going on or whatever, but like,
and
you know,
the
I'm
way he's playing it,
figure it out as we go.
We're all humans, right? He disallowed the fairy race to start,
right?
So that's another way to peel back the layers of the onion. Be humans, explore the wood,
Yeah, and I think that's a great idea. That's how I would want to approach it. You are new to the Fey realm.
Yes.
And you have to adapt to survive. I think that's
or exterminate them all.
Yes. And Edgelord says I should get it, so there you go. My decision is made.
That stands, yeah. So. I just wish it wasn't that's a me gripe, but the books aren't normal sized. That's my only
they're A4
thing.
Yeah.
They're A4,
Sure. Yeah, I'm not sure why
they're like an inch taller and 3/4 inch wider.
Because Gavin,
it is what it is.
British.
It's just a weird thing for me.
In fact, Roger opened his while I was there, and both of us had the same reaction. What the hell's this guy thinking? Why would you make the book this weird size? Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. It is what it is. Dan, you're number 3, I believe.
Numero Trace. Well, speaking of Mr. Jolly Fonster,
Hyperborea. Oh
no, Shadow City.
Ooh.
So I got this last year. I played a shitload of World of Darkness in the late 90s and early 2000s, like I'm sure a lot of people did. I always thought it was super fun playing vampire, but more appropriately werewolf, with my buddies that were a bunch of normal dudes and not a bunch of theater kids. Theater kids ruined vampire.
Yes.
And I was watching Greg run this at North Texas for Lord Mattias and Bill Harvat and Michael Putlack and Cloaker. And there's a whole bunch of people there. And they were just, I was only there for about 40 minutes. But they were having a blast and it looked awesome. And it was like, 1980s, like awesome vampire, a little bit of Blade in there, a little bit of, like good old vampire movies before they became stupid, lame sparkle vampires. So obviously it's Shadow Dark based, played a ton of Shadow Dark. I like Shadow Dark, but I'm very curious I would love to run Shadow City and, have an awesome, badass vampire game, not a stupid, lame Twilight vampire game for theater kids.
Cool.
And if there are any theater kids in the audience, if you're upset, I don't care.
My introduction to vampire was I had some friends that were playing it, and they were playing it over at Utica College in Strebel Hall, because that's where they would go and hang out and play games. And I got invited, and they were like, "Oh, you should come. Yeah, we're playing Van." I'm like, I don't know. I'm not into like the whole vampire thing, whatever. They're like, no, it's awesome. It's an RPG. I'm like, all right. I was running Supers games and D&D and stuff at the time. And so I went, and everybody's wearing a trench coat and sunglasses and is like talking to each other like they're in a game, and like they're all pretending to be vampire lords or whatever. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And they're like, this is VTM. And I'm like, guys, I looked at the book, like
this shit's not in the book.
Like, where's your dice? And they're like, well, sometimes we get to that. And like, and that's all they do is just wanted to like play pretend. And I was like, okay, you guys are fucking weird.
I've been to exactly one LARP in my entire life. It was in high school. My buddy convinced me to go. He promised there would be big titty goth chicks there. It was a vampire LARP.
Were there big titty goth chicks there?
There were big goth chicks there.
Okay, well.
And they all had a charisma
so he wasn't
of 18.
lying.
There was an important adjective or noun, whatever it is, missing from what was actually manifest.
Yeah.
And I was sad.
Yeah. So that really like turned me off, right? And so I never wanted to have anything to do with vampire, werewolf, not chameleon. What was the other one? The shapeshifter one.
Changeling, wraith,
Changeling,
hunter,
wraith,
exalted.
Right. So, but then Chubby's book came out, and I looked at it, and what drew me into that was the city section, the area generation tables and stuff, how he generates the factions and what's there in all the locations. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. So, yeah. Yeah, Theater Kids, South Park.
That is the perfect, because now I can see them in my head. Sitting there all angry, fake angry, smoking their cigarettes. That's nailed it.
Exactly what it was.
But yeah, good stuff. The book is awesome. That is actually on my top 10. It just did not make the top 5.
Cool.
So maybe I'll talk about it some more later.
Cool.
We'll see. But right now, we got to do my number 3. So this, I think Jason's going to be surprised by this, that it's this high up on my list. But, I'm really not a huge fan of like the cyberpunk stuff. Like that's like lower on my list of things that I want to play and run. But there is one game that I would like to run, probably a one shot, not a full campaign, like I said with Traveler and Call of Cthulhu. But I would love to run a one shot in Neon Skies.
I'm so happy to see that on your list. When?
Yeah, I know when. I think it'd be fun, and I don't know when, where, like what, if I would do it online or whatever. I don't know. Man, every time I look at this, I really like the system. It's a D6 dice pool. You're looking for a 6, like, and that's it. So whatever roll, there's no, like most games, like free league stuff and all that you roll multiple 6s and it counts for multiple success. No, you roll a 6, you succeed. If it's an opposed check and you both roll 6s, it doesn't matter. If you both roll 1 6, you each drop a die and you roll again. And then that's it. And he's like abstracted, like the vehicle chase combat where you just choose like one of 4 things, whether you're going to try and like speed away or like make an attack or whatever. It's very, very like kind of simplified stuff. And the setting's cool. And they've really made it really good. I think he's a nuclear engineer. It's Wylock from Wylock's Armory, who did it. And William Buchanan, and it's Wylock. Yeah. And I don't know. It's just really simple. And, and I was excited to run Red, and I had bought the starter set from PAX Unplugged 2022 or whatever it was. And I had ran it in the hotel, and it was okay. It felt a little clunky. And I thought some of that was just because we were learning the rules and trying to figure it out. But then later I had tried to run online, and I know some of that may have been players. I don't know. It's hard to say, but
you had a very difficult player.
The game felt right. But the game to me felt like it was more complicated than it needed to be.
Agreed.
Like there was too much there. There was too much going on. It was like, wait a minute, this gets added here and there, and then we're going to roll this. And like, I don't know. And it just seemed like, man, there's an easier way to do this. This is an easier way to do it. And I think you don't lose anything by doing it that way. And it, like I said, it just, Cyberpunk Red seemed like the rules were getting in the way of having a good time. Yeah. So I really want to run Neon Skies. Like I said, probably a one shot, maybe like I did the last, maybe like 3 or 4 session thing, just to do one kind of overarching story. But I think it'd be fun to do that. So that's my number 3.
Cool. That's a great pick.
So, and I saw, Edgelord wants to play if I run online. So maybe I'll run it online. It's an easy D6 dice pool system, so it's not that bad. So maybe I'll do that. So
no, Agile, I was amazingly easygoing during the Cyberpunk. I did my best to be a good player.
Yeah. So that's
we're only at our third book,
Mr. Blotface.
I really have to keep myself in check tonight. But
what do you
we're
got?
good.
You're number 3.
well, no,
yeah,
actually,
we're an hour and a
We're
half
good, I
in,
think.
and we're
Yeah.
we're an hour and a half in, and we're halfway through the list.
I wanted to talk about Neon Skies a little bit versus
That's
Cyberpunk.
good.
for it.
No, time wise, we're really good because we had a half hour in the beginning, so we're
Yeah,
really
we're
only
good.
like less
Yeah,
than an
cool.
hour.
We've
halfway
even got
through,
time
so
for
we're doing
some
great. So
honorable
we can talk.
mentions.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the cyberpunk genre. The book Neuromancer is where it all started.
It's so
if
good.
those of you that have never read that
Yes,
book,
so
William
go
good.
Gibson.
read that book, and that will tell you how cyberpunk should be. Everybody is an asshole. Everybody is looking out for themselves because of all the decay around them. And I'm a huge fan. I played Cyberpunk 2020 back in the 90s. Huge fan of it. Loved it. Crazy huge fan of Cyberpunk, the video game that CD Projekt Red did. There are glaring flaws in that game, but it's great, and the story is incredible. So I was very hyped to get Red, and I talked to Cody about it, and I just forgot the dad's name. The guy that wrote it.
Mike.
Yeah,
Mike Pondsmith.
Thank you, Mike Pondsmith. I talked to those guys about it, and I was super excited. So I bought all in. I got everything, and I had the exact same feeling. I was looking at the character sheet, and what went through my mind was, I am too old to play this because this character sheet is so freaking complicated. I will never get the hang of it. And so I was like, and I was being serious. I was like, okay, maybe I'm. My mind's starting to fade a little bit, so maybe this complicated stuff just isn't for me anymore. But when we started playing it and nobody could understand what was going on, I was like, okay, good, it's not me. So I agree. And with Neon Skies, that like you said, the guy's a nuclear engineer. When I started reading the book, I was like, I don't know who this is, but this cat's smart because it is written intelligently. Everything about it shows somebody that put serious thought and serious research into what he felt this dark future world would be like. It's phenomenal, man. It really is. And I didn't even think about it. In fact, I think the reason it's not on my list is because it's on the shelf behind me and I can't see it, whereas I've got this shelf here that I can see. Otherwise, I think it would have been on my list. So I hope we get to play. There you go.
Yeah. No, like I said, I think it's really well done, and like we kind of already said, the whole cyberpunk Red thing kind of put a downer on me running cyberpunk sort of stuff. So just seeing this, it just excites me. And then I look at it, I see it on the shelf, and I'm like, I look at the cyberpunk Red box and I'm like, ugh. But I look at that and I'm like, it's cool,
Yep.
Yeah.
So on to
right.
my
Even
book
Full
3.
Metal Dragon. He says, I like how it has examples of game rules for everything, which is fantastic.
Anything that you might have a question about, you're going to find it in the books and tell you how to do it. I think that's great. So my book 3,
it's good stuff,
is Baptism of Fire. It's by RPG Pundit. Pundit does a lot of, his whole thing is realism. He's got some detractors because the realism often comes across as sexist, because it was in that time. He does a lot of focus on religion and how it affects the people that are living in that world. I really like that. This is one of those games that when I look at it, I'm like, there's my medieval simulator at work. And I like that sort of thing. When I first found out, because I had Lion and Dragon first, big fan of that setting, the English medieval, love it. So when Baptism of Fire came out, I was playing, I just forgot it, Kingdom Come Deliverance. And I freaking love that game. I love the setting. I think it's amazing. The sequel was better than the first one. That never happens. So I was like all in. So when I read Baptism of Fire, I was like, man, this is badass. Takes place in the early 11th century in Poland. We're going from basically barbarian tribes that are, running what is now Poland. They were all pagans, and now early Christianity has finally made its way into Poland, and it's starting to change the way the world is living. And now we're going from the Dark Ages to early medieval. That's my shit right there. That is the time frame that I want to play my D&D game in. But when I read that, I know how much of a history guy he tries to be. I said, let me take a look, because this is what I always do. Let me take a look at the equipment list and see what's in there. The best armor you can get is a chainmail halberd. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap, he got it right. He's not blowing smoke up my ass. This is the correct way to go. There's no plate mail, and I've talked about this before. I don't have to go into it anymore. But that chainmail is what fighters wore. And I was like, oh my God, dude, I am loving this. There's pagans and there's Catholic priests that are trying to spread the word. And I was just like, man, this is incredible. And it's such a cool setting. And one of the things that I like about this sort of fantasy is this almost not fantasy. There's no orcs and ogres and people are throwing fireballs around. That stuff's not in here. Magic is dangerous. It's dark. It's misunderstood. No one trusts it. People get burned at the stake for casting spells. So this is just right up my alley. I absolutely love this. As far as the system, very much I want to say it's a standard D20 in that it is, your skill checks, attacks, and all that are with a D20. Add your stat bonuses and all that. But then he does different, like old school initiative system. It's a D6 instead of a D10 or a D20. You have just a few bonuses. Movement instead of 30 is 90 feet per round, and that's if you do nothing else. So it kind of doing that kind of expands the battlefield for me, and I like that too. There's nothing in this system that I don't like. I'm absolutely thrilled with it. I doubt that we'll ever see it on the table because it's a little too, the realism is a little too real for some people. Guys want to play fantasy. They want to go fight orcs and they want to see magic and all that. That's not what this is. But man, someday I'm hoping I'll get to play this at the table. I really hope I do. So
it's interesting because like the monsters and magic that are in it, it's based on what people believed in at the time.
Yeah,
it's as much really cool as it is magic.
Yeah. I have that as well. And
Dave Mills has a great question.
No, there are Warhammers. I don't recall seeing a Lucerne hammer. They would have been around the 13th century on through the 17th century is when they started. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate the question.
Have you ever read the Saxon series, Jason?
I have not.
You would enjoy it. And the reason I own the Sack by Bernard Cornwell.
Okay.
I was listening to him and I was like, I have never wanted to play a game where I jumped on a Viking longship and went and pillaged a place more in my entire life than after reading those or listening to those books. And I looked around, I was like, oh, I need something. And then on one of the streams, you held up Baptism of Fire, and I had heard of it. And then I talked to you about it, and I ended up getting it as well. And pretty much for the same reasons, I really like it. Like, I like that setting. I like that era. I like that realism that it has. It's really cool.
Awesome. Well, you said Saxon series? It's about Vikings
the Saxon
invading Lillithorn and all that?
Yeah, you talk about like it talks about like how you have the pagans and the Christians and that, opposing views and stuff. It's I'm gonna have to. It's like, I don't know, 13 or 15 books in the series. I listened to the first four because the first 3 of them had my favorite narrator, a guy named Jonathan Keeble, and then they switched narrators. So I'm gonna have to buy the books and read them because I can't listen to them anymore without hearing Jonathan Keeble's voice. So, cool. I loved them. I thought they were. I didn't know if I'd like it because it's historical fiction. Like it's very much in line with, I think, like Baptism of Fire, because they talk about magic sometimes and what they believe. Like but it's not, fireballs, and it's like very realistic. And I didn't know if I'd enjoy that at first, and I freaking loved it.
Awesome.
And the series on Netflix, I don't remember the name of it, is based on those books. There's a series they did.
The Viking series?
Not the Viking. It's called, what the hell's it called? I only watched a little bit of it. I don't know why I fell off of it because it was actually really good. I do that with a lot of television. I just stop watching it, even if it's good. and but it's based on his books, Bernard Cornwell's books. And I've listened to other stuff that he's done too. Like he did a trilogy about King Arthur. That was freaking awesome.
Cool.
That was just awesome. I listened to it. Actually, Jonathan Keeble narrated that and did an excellent job.
Did any of you guys ever read The Long Ships?
No, I just saw that post.
Is that the one you put in the thing?
I just brought it up.
Yeah.
I think I did.
That is in my probably top 5 favorite books of all time. And every time I read it, I'm immediately like, I need to play Age of Vikings. I need to play something Vikings immediately. It's so good.
Cool. Baron Kaza stated that the Greeks did have a foreign plate melt.
Yeah, I'll get there.
What?
I'm further back in the chat. Just give me a second.
Oh, okay.
Chubby, yeah, I got to get caught up here.
Sure.
Chubby, yeah, you missed out. Basically, we were talking up your VTM made good game. Yeah, Shadow City, Blood and Neon, and we did talk about Shadow Rim earlier. Drag that he checked out Baptism of Fire, but doesn't know how I read it. So cool to get that back in there. Yeah. So Baron Karza, the Greeks did have a plate-like set.
They did. At, and whenever we think about Greeks, we always think about Bronze Age. That the Peloponnesian War took place late Bronze, early Iron. They did have iron. They did have plate, but Baron then later says, with the Chamo versus the Gary Gygax history mashup, when most people think of plate mail, they're thinking of 13th century Gothic plate mail, the full visor, the articulated arms and legs. That did not exist. So you were certainly correct. The Greeks did have a form of plate mail. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was just a plate. That was just a chest plate. And some of the legs, it wasn't like the full.
It was a breastplate. They had a plate on their thighs,
like the shin stuff or whatever.
They had
right?
Shin guards,
yeah.
right? So,
but it wasn't like a full connected suit,
right? It was basically plate mail with none of the joints, because the articulated joints took a lot of skill that they simply didn't have, and that sort of stuff was monstrously expensive. Even medieval knights did not have that sort of thing, because horses were terribly expensive, and every knight had to bring 4 with them because the horses are going to get killed. So the amount of money required to be what we consider like the D&D knight is just an unfathomable amount of money. So they wore chain because it was affordable, easy to maintain, easy to fix. Plate was terribly expensive, required a master smith in order to make it, along with all his helpers and all that nonsense. Let's keep talking about our games, because I will take care. I will take this thing hostage and talk about it all night.
Baron says check out Mazes and Minotaurs. It's a great free Greek RPG.
I didn't, but
also,
I will. Thank you.
Chubby says that if you get to a barbecue early enough, you can sometimes grab enough paper plates to make your own plate mail.
Monsters are like you, or why I have to eat off of a strip of aluminum foil.
That's true.
I eat with my hands.
And this is a link to the book. What was the name of that book, Dan or Matt?
The Long Ships.
The Long Ships.
The Long Ships.
I gotta check.
It's 2 books. It's 2 books. It was released originally in the original language in 2 books, and then when they translated it to English, they just put them into 1 volume. Really, really good.
Okay, cool. That is cool. I'm definitely gonna have to check that out. And it's a historical fiction.
Yeah, I mean it's
right.
fiction,
it's not
but
fantasy.
There's nothing fantasy about it. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Just checking.
Big sale on Kindle, half price, sold.
Yeah, it's really good.
So we are at Stan for 528 pages. Stan, you're number 3.
My number 3 is
Good choice.
by Free League.
Yeah. How do you say that, Stan?
I call it Vaesen.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say Vasen.
I don't know.
I'm not Swedish, so I call it Vaesen because I'm from Maine and I barely speak English as it is. I have run this. I ran like an intro adventure mystery, and the mystery that actually comes in this book, and I've played it a few times as well. But I just really like it. The Free League does obviously a great job, And the setting is like it's cool, like because it's actually it's mythical, but it's also real. Like I never knew Uppsala was actually a real place until I heard a woman that was from there say she was from Uppsala. I thought it was all made up, but no, it isn't. And they've expanded out. I mean, they have Prague and the Carpathian Mountains in that area too with the latest stuff. So yeah, really good game. I enjoyed my time both running it and playing it, and I have I have all the stuff for it. So
Vason was my number 6.
Cool.
Yeah,
well,
a matter of fact,
it's in my top 20.
Yeah, I pulled a book off the shelf the other day because I was in the mood to read. Like I was in a horror mood, and I thought it was going to be more of a setting book, and I didn't realize that one of the books was literally just a 4-part adventure, like 4 big chapters of an adventure. I was like, oh, I didn't know I had this. So, yeah, that's my number 3. 3.
Yeah, you're spot on, Paul. That the Longships cover does look like Prince Valiant comics. If you guys ever read that Sunday comic strip,
I did.
Oh yeah,
like yeah. And Edgelord said, "Great choice, Stan." So, yeah,
I had
cool stuff. Like I said, Vaesen, it didn't make my top 10. It's somewhere between 10 and 20. So, but it's definitely there somewhere around 15.
And if you want to see kind of a modern interpretation of that, the show The Grimm is pretty good. Pretty good.
Cool. Yeah, Agile says it's absolutely amazing and awesome. Yeah.
He also says it's very easy to die in the Carpathian Mountains. Oddly specific.
Well, I mean, I don't know if he's talking about in the game or in the real world, so we'll leave
Knowing
it.
Agile, probably the real world.
It's probably the real world. Yeah. He also loves print Valiant comics. Yeah. Ooh, schlong ships and banana boats. I don't know what that's a reference to, but that's
I don't know. Probably something Wibbs read on Reddit.
Probably. So that was that. So we are down to our top 2. Matt, you're number 2.
All right. So Roger, you would have thrown this one out from your list using the rule that you have, but I didn't have that rule. So this would probably be my number 1, except that I docked it a spot because I have run it a few times and I have played it a few times. But the game that I probably think about the most day in and day out, and just either go back to reading stuff or thinking about, I probably have 20 characters that I've created over the last 5 years for this game.
This is totally Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
It's not. No, it's not.
Gotta be.
No. And I think I've had 3 different people who were supposed to start campaigns for this game, and sort of for different reasons they fizzled out before they happened, or we did a session 0. So I have a character from it, and then it sort of immediately fizzled out. And that's Delta Green.
Okay.
It's just a game that kind of lives rent free in my head. It's a game that I compare a whole lot of other games against. When I sort of think about what would I want to play, and like that is one of the bars that a game has to clear, because a lot of times I just think, well, this game's fine, but I'd rather be playing Delta Green. So
good game.
Yeah, so that's my number 2. Just I like the rule system. It sort of is one of those things that slots in really well in my brain. It just is easy for me to track on. I like the setting. I like the lore. I think the production quality is really good. The writing is excellent. There are just an absolute shitload of materials out there, from kind of one shots all the way to long campaigns, for a game that's not, I mean, it's well known, but it's not exactly, made by like a major company. There is so much stuff available for it, both setting wise and in terms of adventures to run. So yeah, that's my number 2. And again, probably would be my number 1, except I have played it and I have run it. And my number 1, I have not played or run. So it felt like I was cheating if I made this my number 1. But
I think that it gets really high marks because people like Call of Cthulhu, and people always equate Delta Green as like, hey, this is the modern, kind of thing or whatever. And so I think that's why it gets like if Call of Cthulhu wasn't as popular, this wouldn't kind of get, I don't want to say dragged up, but you know what I mean?
It's almost it's almost dark. To me, it's darker. It's just a darker game, and the way it handles the sanity and erosion of your personal life and your loss of self and devotion to suppressing the unnatural and exposure to it feels just like an evolution of Call of Cthulhu. You can tell it's a more modern game. It also like it gets rid of a lot of the mitigation mechanisms they introduced in 7th edition. There's no luck, there's no degrees of success, there's like crits and fumbles. But to me, like 7th edition Call of Cthulhu, I like it. It almost feels less lethal. And in some ways it's more like Vaesen. It's more, they're both investigation games. But in terms of like which one really sort of gets in your head when you read a Delta Green module all the way through and you put it down, like you'll find yourself thinking about it later, like over and over again. It's like a good horror book. I don't get quite as much of that with Call of Cthulhu. Like as much as I love like Mass of Nyarlathotep or like other really good Call of Cthulhu things that I've read and played, like they don't scare me. Like they don't, like they're horror games. They're cool. Like, but it's not the same. Like Delta Green is like, it's very much its own thing that kind of really messes with you.
Yeah. Because it's not just that you're going up against like the elder gods or whatever, and the whole Cthulhu horror aspect of it, but you're also trying to deal with the things you have to do to cover up all of that stuff, which is stuff that wouldn't happen in Call of Cthulhu usually. You know,
because you're not you're not worried about covering stuff up. It's
the suspicious lady next door isn't, you know, you're like, okay, whatever, you're going to question her and that's it. But like, you know, in Delta Green, you know, you're like, she knows too much, she's got to go. You know.
Yep.
Well, there was a gas leak, you know, or whatever.
Sorry.
There's been a rash of those lately. I don't know. Everywhere we go.
I played Delta Green Sunday. Actually, it's a really good game. It really is. I enjoy it, and it is.
Yeah.
I played a lot of Call of Cthulhu too, and I like them both. I don't know about the lethality. I saw a bunch of that in both, but no, it's a really good game, and but it does have that darker tone. I think you're right, Matt, because you have to take. At least the games I played in Delta Green, they really like you in like desperate measures type thing where you're like, this isn't we're not the good guys. Like we're just doing our job basically, and it can get pretty dark in that regard. I mean, our game Sunday ended with me. I played like a soldier type, and I killed my 2 party members and then myself to finish the scenario, which I guess in hindsight found out I didn't have to do, but that was what I thought I had to do at the time to make what was happening stop. And so it definitely takes a dark, and that's not counting a bunch of other people I murdered in the process of covering this event up. So yeah, it is a darker game for sure, but it's good.
This is why it's not on my list, but I put Call of Cthulhu on my list. Like I don't know. I'd rather play that instead of I mean, it seems fun, like whatever to do, you know what I mean? But like I couldn't imagine running a campaign of that. Like as a one shot, I think it's fine, but like running a campaign where it's like over and over again, it's like I don't know. I think it would get old and I'd just be over it. Like, all right, can we stop killing random civilians now? Like
well, I mean, I feel much. Call of Cthulhu to me is sort of like the I don't know, it's like Pet Cemetery or Chucky, or it's like it's horror, but it's not, it's not like The Mist or The Thing or like The Fly, like those, like to me, like those are the ones that really get in my head and sort of just live there, whether I want them to or not. I think that's the difference for me. So anyway, that's my number 2.
No, I hear you. Cool. Yeah. Cool. Awesome stuff. Yeah, that'd be fun sometime to check that out. Dan.
Yes, sir.
Over to you for number 2.
Number 2. Well,
Is that where we're at? Yeah.
It's no secret. I really like swords and sorcery type stuff. And
Do you?
I really want to play Tales of Argosa.
Yeah.
Tales of Argosa.
I have not played it. I missed the Kickstarter. I just got it very recently via eBay, thanks to a saved search. Because I have this weird thing when an offset print exists, I'm not allowed to own the pod unless it's the table copy for the unwashed masses. So, but the other reason I want to try this is I want to try playing a solo game. And I know this has good systems to support it, so I figured this would be a good one to try. I like that it's, max levels 9. I like that it's lower powered. I am very intrigued by the classes. I know they broke up wisdom into perception and something else.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. But like there's no clerics, you get cultists instead, which is like that just kind of, sets a tone different from a lot of other worlds.
Magic system is very interesting in that.
Yeah, and the magic system is different, and I want to play with that. So I would love to play it. Go ahead.
If you're gonna do the solo thing, there's some like extra stuff that they have that you can get.
Yeah,
probably help. Like there's a couple. Like I have the card decks. I just got the NPC deck like last week or something.
Yeah, I don't have the card deck. I know they have dice too.
Those are Son of a bitch. Yeah, they have the deck of signs, which that would be really good because it's just like how you can generate, you go into a hex or whatever, just random events and encounters. They're pretty cool. So they have, they're all like multi. And those all mean something. They're defined in the book. Okay. And the dice, same. They have symbols on them. You just determine it randomly. And then this came up last week. This is the NPC deck.
Yeah, you showed that off on the.
So it's just
cool.
I don't know how many's in there. At least 50. So that's on my list. It didn't make the top 5, but it is. I think it is at the top of my, not top 5.
So I want to run it both for other people, but I also want to try. Almost said playing with myself. Running it solo, so I'm very.
You'd be good at that.
Thank you, Roger.
Yeah, no, fantastic. No, that's definitely a cool a cool game. That's like way further down on my list.
And I know I've had a lot of like D20.
I mean, it's probably somewhere in the top 50.
Sorry, 50. I don't think I own 50 games that I haven't played.
No, hey, if that's what you like, I mean, play what you gotta. Play what you gotta like.
That was interesting. That one, I very seldom read PDFs. Like I prefer to have a book. Yes. And I had the PDF of that before I had the book, and I on a whim started reading it. And the more I read, the more I liked, and I just kept chunking along in it. And then I eventually ordered the book, but. I really like that system.
And I know we're not talking about production quality and everything, but the offset book has printed end papers with tables and all sorts of cool stuff in there. And I do know there's supposed to be a Kickstarter for a starter box set coming. And
it's setting for
setting, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I think he said he's going to do a reprint of the offset print book for that Kickstarter. So
he has mentioned it. So hopefully you will, because I'll back that Kickstarter actually.
And I've heard universally nothing but praise for that game.
Yeah. So that's my number 2, asterisk 2.
2 asterisk?
Yes. You'll find out when it gets to 1. I have a question for
I don't know
what
the asterisk means.
That means
I'm sure we'll find out.
No.
For legitimacy? Oh my God.
No, there's.
Oh my God.
I have questions.
So, my number 2. This is an odd one. Sorry. Yes. Oh, I got some lag. Are you guys?
I think you're the one lagging.
I see you staring at us, not doing anything.
Jason, what's 2 + 2?
Oh, am I moving now?
4 most of the time.
Okay, yeah. Roger's definitely lagging.
Okay.
Did I move? Am I moving now or am I frozen?
Yes.
You're moving.
Talk about your game.
He may be having a
sorry, I
stroke.
wasn't sure what happened. Trying to lagging it's a little bit. Dramatic pause, yeah. Dramatic pause. So my number 2, this is a weird one that's on the list. But I kept going back to it and I just keep thinking, thanks, Jeff. I keep thinking that I want to play it. I want to run it. And this is just like a game that you'd run for like a one shot usually. Well, you could do a small campaign with it. I couldn't see doing a huge campaign with it. But that's Inspectors.
Oh, Jesus.
Which is
you were doing so good.
Old well, it's based on it's sort of like the Ghostbusters game. From the long ago. And it's just about building like basically a Ghostbuster franchise. Obviously it's Inspectors. It's got it's the serial numbers are filed off, but it's basically you're making a Ghostbusters franchise. And I don't know, I just really like it. I like the idea of it. You're like, it's not just that you're just going and worrying about ghosts and like Monster of the Week type of thing, but you're also like trying to make money at it. So you have like a credit card and like finances, and you're trying to like pay for stuff. And so you're like, not, like I said, like you're not just going out like catching ghosts and getting paid, but you're also like, you're trying to pay the bills and stuff. And so I think that's, I don't know, it's just a fun time. And I just really want to run it for like a handful of sessions. And I keep looking at it on my shelf and I keep pulling it out going, man, I gotta, I really want to run this.
I'm with you. I would play that in a heartbeat. I would also play Spectral Exterminators, which is a similar remake of the West End games. Or I would play Goons and Ghosts, which is Tunnel Goons, but Ghostbusters, because Ghostbusters is like a seminal movie for me. It's like arguably my favorite movie of all time. And I watched the cartoon as a kid too. And it's just one of those things where if you tell me I get to be a Ghostbuster or a serial number filed off derivative of a Ghostbuster, I will be there and play it for sure.
Yeah. Busting and bookkeeping. Yeah. That's what Paul says. But that's basically what it is. Like, I love the idea that you're trying to run a franchise, and it's just like the Ghostbusters RPG, except this is like, accessible. I guess the Ghostbusters RPG is pretty accessible now, but you get PDFs and stuff, but this is pretty cheap. It's, it's basically simplified the rules. It's a D6 dice pool, but I like that you can, you have like a credit card that has so many dice on it, right? And you can use those dice. Like, you need to add to a roll to like, oh, we got to go catch this ghost, like, and it's going to be harder. Like, let's pull like 2 dice, but now you got to pay those dice back because it's basically you're charging more equipment to your credit card. And so now you got to like make more money to try and pay that back. And if you go broke, like, you lose, you go bankrupt and you lose the game. Like, I think that is just so awesome. And it's really Ghostbusters, right? Because that's what they were doing. Like in the movies, they're like trying to survive. They don't have enough bills to keep the power on, right? And they're like, no, we got to keep this thing running. And they're like, no, too bad, we're shutting it off. Like, this is a, and so like just all of that. And I think it's just, that's just the cool part of it that you don't see in like a lot of games where you're not trying to like do the thing and run a business for the thing. You're just like, okay, yeah, we'll get our swords. We'll buy a bunch of stuff. We'll go out. We'll slay the dragon. We'll come back with all the gold. We'll, you know what I mean? We'll buy some new stuff and we'll go out. Like, you're not worried about like running the adventure company, right? Or whatever. But like this is, and it focuses on that. And I don't know, it just seems really, really fun to me. So that's my number 2. And maybe I'll run this online and Matt can jump in and
I'm there.
And it'll be fun.
I love Ghostbusters. I love it. I love it.
So that's
I think about Ghostbusters all the time. Like, it's a sickness. Like, I seriously, like, Prometheus, how it was like, they didn't really say it was an aliens movie until like, I want there to be a Ghostbusters movie where like I sit down and watch a movie and then like halfway through it's like, oh my God, this is Ghostbusters. Like, I don't want to know. Like, I think about it all the time.
It's like Poltergeist. It's like Poltergeist 8. And like, it, like there's the haunting and it's a horror movie. And then like, at the end of it, the ghost
Dan Aykroyd shows
out
up
of the TV,
Yeah.
and the Ghostbusters show up.
Yeah, or like what would a modern like a good modern Ghostbusters movie be? Like, could you use like the Cthulhu mythos and then make it a Ghostbusters movie, like, and not have it be stupid like all the ones that they've been? Like, you don't need to bring back the old cast, and you don't need to make it politically correct.
Yeah.
Just make a good movie. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's that franchise is clearly never going to be. It probably is like a thing of its time, and it's just they'll never be. Even Ghostbusters 2 was kind of shit. So I get it. Like but I don't know. I have such an affinity for the first movie. So
first one was awesome.
Are you telling me that the gender swapped Ghostbusters was not the peak of cinematic achievement?
Oh my God! Pass.
Yeah. Yeah, Tobin Spirit Guide. You don't have you guys have Tobin Spirit Guide as one of your coffee table books, right? It's not just me, right?
Yeah.
No, it's just me. No, it's okay.
Oh man. Yeah. I appreciate how Matt lights up the Ghostbusters like Jason talking about. Period. I
got your back on this pick, Roger. I'm the only one in the
group.
Thank you, guess,
Matt. I thought everybody was going to be against me on this, going, "What the hell?" But like, I kept looking at it, and I kept going, man. Like, I know all the other ones are like classic games, right, or whatever. People like are like, "Oh yeah, it's awesome. This is awesome," and yeah, it takes like a weirdo to want to run like a Ghostbusters game where you're running the business, right? And I get it. But I kept looking at it going, man, I really want to run this.
Yeah.
It's your list.
Cool.
That's where I'm at, you know? Yeah. It's just crazy, but yeah, that's true. Paul, the proton pack is Matt's Lucerne hammer. Yes.
I can relate.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
And Matt, I
full torso free floating apparition.
Yeah.
Right. Now I'm gonna go watch that first movie.
The original Ghostbusters had the best comedic moments when they light up the proton pack for the first time and they're all in the elevator and the two of them step back. If that thing blows up, you're in an elevator, dude. There's nothing that you can do about it. Right. And I love when they go to the library and they see the librarian there. It's okay, I've got a plan. Get her. And then they run around. That was your plan? Get her? It's hilarious. Yeah. It's a great movie, no doubt.
Yeah, every Ghostbusters movie after the first just makes the original better and better. Yeah.
Sure does. Yeah. It's magic.
It's good stuff. Oh boy.
Okay. That's fine. You like what you like. Anyway.
Oh man.
We got 45
so that was my number
left.
2. So we got Jason's number 2.
Yeah.
The One Ring. Yeah.
The One Ring. My
I thought this was going to be your number 1.
It almost was. But no, there's a different one. It's the One Ring, man. It's Lord of the Rings, except not in 5e. That's what the One Ring is. It's Free League's system. It's just incredible. It's another one of those games that when I played it, I felt like I was actually in the world, and that's really rare. And so I think it's great. One of the things that I like about it is it's not The Hobbit, it's the Lord of the Rings. So it as Roger can tell you, like if you do the quick start, it's at least the box that I have. It's hobbits. It's a Hobbit adventure.
Yeah.
But the game does not focus on the hobbits. It focuses on the entire Middle Earth, which is massive. And so you can do an entire campaign and never meet a hobbit, or never meet an elf, or never meet a dwarf. There are so many things that you can do with this. And when we were talking about Forbidden Lands, one of the things we said was, it may be a dead publication. They don't really seem to be doing anything else with it. Man, the One Ring is alive and well. Every time I turn around, there's a new source book coming out. I think the Hand of the White Wizard is the new one. I think that's what it's called. That's brand new. I've pre-ordered some stuff. It's just incredible, man. And of course, I have to talk about Free League's art. Most of their publications, the art's really good, but good Lord, the art that is in the One Ring. Tolkien was very famous for not liking adaptations of his work or anyone else expressing their vision of his work, I think he would tacitly approve of this. The art looks like something that you would see in his original works. I just think it's wonderful. I really do. So, and the Rangers are badass. So there we go. And I think that's probably why Roger thought I was going to do number one. When we talked about me running a Rangers only game last week, or the week before, I started going through all my different games. And when I came to the One Ring, I was like, the Rangers of the North, those are the guys I want. So the One Ring is what I'm going to be running when I do my Rangers game next year at COI. Here we go.
Yeah, quick Paul, sounds like Paul had the same GM that we had for the One Ring.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's too bad.
Just wasn't great. What always, you get me, you talk about the Hobbit thing and all that, and that's like one thing that's always kind of got me about even like D&D and stuff, right? Like they go out of the way, right? Tolkien goes out of the way in Lord of the Rings to explain to you that in the history of the ages, in the history of histories, hobbits do not go anywhere. They don't go on adventures. They scoff at it. They don't want to leave the safety of their home. They're just not going to do it. And like, here's this like one rare one, right? That like has to go on the thing because it's his destiny. And then like the rest of them kind of fall in because they're like, okay, we're going to help our friend. And like, this is the adventure of a lifetime that has never, ever happened. And then you look at like the games and all that stuff. And there's so many hobbits that are going out and adventuring. And like
in the beginning of Lord of the Rings, when Bilbo is having his millionth birthday or whatever, the other hobbits don't like him.
111st.
111.
He's an oddball. They find him uncomfortable to be around.
Yeah.
And so that's how it should be. You should be an odd duck if you're a hobbit leaving the Shire. Why would you leave this piece of paradise? You're crazy to do that. And
I mean, you'll get eaten or worse.
Right. I just missed the comment. Oh, there it is. Ryan talking about, I remember everybody hating it because the story's already been told. That is so true. And there are millions of stories that can be told with this system. People that say that have never looked at it because it is just so freaking good. There we go. That's my number 2 pick.
Yeah. Turn GM.
And to Paul's comment, I was also at EggCon. I tried very hard to get into that One Ring game, and I was not able to. And I heard more than one person say that it did not go well. So
that
dodged a bullet.
A disappointment.
That's my only issue with that game. I have played it twice, and both times I had a good time, but I felt like the person running it struggled with the rules a little bit. It does feel like it's, I don't know if it's crunchy is the right word for it. It's just, it has a lot of things going on, and they're not maybe set up and run the way other games do things. So it's sort of like some of your some of your muscle memory just doesn't work right in that game. Right. So
that's right.
Yeah.
It's not a D20 system. It's not even a pure year zero. It's a modified year zero system.
Yeah.
With the odd little square thing, the little timer thingy. And so it's different. And so I definitely think that if you were going to run it seriously, this would be a game that you would first, for God's sake, use the quick start, because that's the easy way to go. Don't start with the main book. Use the quick start. Sit down and play it with your friends with the understanding of, I'm learning this system too. And once we get all these oddball mechanics down, then we're going to start walking them to the mountain and seeing the real Lord of the Rings. It's just so good. And since Ryan's talking about buying it, like every other freaking free league out there, if you get the starter box, that is all you need to play, and you'll be good to go, man. But then if you end up liking it, you want to get the other books and the source books, have a blast.
It may be the most beautiful of all of Free League's stuff. And that's saying something.
I totally agree. I mean, that is saying something, because good Lord, they've got some nice stuff.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, I don't know how to say this, right? I don't want to sound like rude about it or whatever, but like Lord of the Rings, like if you like, the art direction is sort of easy, right? Because there's like a lot of stuff, with any game that just you just come up with a game and you're making a game, right? It's like you have to give all this art direction to like the way you describe everything the way you want it to look. Whereas with Lord of the Rings, it'd be like, look, do you know Lord of the Rings? Like,
right.
You know what I mean? And here's a bunch of stuff.
That's one of and that was another comment I meant to make that I forgot. Everybody has seen the movies. I don't know any living person that has never seen those movies. Most of us have read the books, and Tolkien was so descriptive when he's talking about the surroundings that any artist worth his salt can put pen to paper and whip it out and be like, this is what Tolkien was talking about. And I agree. It was just, man, it's really, really good, guys. If you haven't checked it out, please do. It's worth it. Okay, I'm done. On to Stan.
Yeah. No, good stuff. Stan, we're at your number 2.
Yeah, I'm dislodging. Can't. Hold on. My number 2 is Dragonbane.
I almost put it on my list. Yep.
I've run Dragonbane. I ran an adventure in it and found it super easy to run. I've played a lot of it. I've played it way more than I've run it. I've played a lot. I played it on Saturday, as a matter of fact. It is the one role-playing game that I've ever encountered where I feel not a single rule needs to be changed. It's perfect in its design. I get frustrated. I'm on the Dragonbane Facebook page, and people get on there and they're like, "Oh, I want to do this and I need to do that," and I'm like, and pretty much the response is like, "No." Everybody's like, "No, leave it alone. Play it." Because a lot of people, they look at something and they've never really put any time into it, real time, and they're like, "Oh, this should be changed. This doesn't," and I'm like, "Play it." But yeah, is by far, if for me, like at least for games I've played, a non like D&D style game, hands down my favorite fantasy game. Like I will play Dragonbane any chance I get. That's how much I love it.
It's so good.
I love that game. It is great. I'm hope to run it. I have a bunch of stuff for it. I have stuff coming. I backed the Trudvang Kickstarter and some other stuff. The setting books that they're releasing for it, Arab Altor, I think it's called. So I'd like to take a much deeper dive into it and play it. We're using it actually to run Ave Nox. I'm playing in Ave Nox and we're using Dragonbane, and it is awesome. Like it's just literally my hands down my favorite fantasy RPG that isn't a D&D style game.
If I did not self-impose the no settings to a game I've already played rule, Dragonbane, Arcand, and Book of Magic would be number 1.
Cool.
On my
list. It was very close to what my number 1. Like it was like this, like a toss-up, because I cannot state enough how much I like Dragonbane. It's great. It just really clicked with me, and I've been fortunate that I have friends that do like it, groups that I play with, and we've used it a lot. Like we ran an OSE adventure with it, the Elder Oak. It was awesome. Had a ton of fun playing that adventure with Dragonbane. I'm sure I would have with OSE as well, but it was just awesome. Played Pirate Borg. My first Dragonbane was actually the Pirate Borg campaign, and we used Dragonbane, and it was just an awesome time.
Cool. Did you back the Kickstarter for the Book of Magic in Arcand? I think you did. So you and I were talking about it. So you got this miniature with your set?
I have him.
Have you painted him yet?
Not yet. He's still sitting on the shelf.
Cool. When you get around to it, I really want to see what you do with him.
Yeah, I should get him ready. I should bring him down where I actually paint. That would be helpful. Right now he's on my bookshelf, but otherwise he'll sit there forever.
Dragonbane did not make my top 10. It's definitely on my top 20.
It's in my top 10.
I'm kind of waiting. It'll go up higher once Trudvang comes out. I did not back Arab Altar there. I think I want to run that one. I want to run a small campaign in the Trudvang setting. I think that's what I want to do.
That looks great. So I can't wait for it.
That's why it fell down pretty low there.
Yeah, I think that game has pretty much bumped, like, as much as I still love it. DCC used to kind of be my like beer and pretzels, like fun kind of fantasy RPG, and at this point, like I would probably reach for Dragonbane first. It just feels cleaner, and I don't know. There's just something to that game that is really, really special.
I'd like to see the difference with the Elric stuff, because they both have the license there.
Yeah, the thing I like about one of the many things I like about Dragonbane, I actually did a video about Dragonbane on my YouTube channel, and it's probably one of my more popular videos. The thing I like about it is you can do almost any style of like fantasy game with it. So I mean, you can do. I like that it's that very low magic, gritty type of thing. Like treasure isn't. I've never played in a game where we found a lot of treasure. We've found cool stuff, but we're not rolling around with thousands of gold pieces. Like it just doesn't happen. So you can really do almost like a sword and sorcery style game with. I mean, you'd have to eliminate a couple of the kins, from the core book, like the mallard and the wolfkin.
Sure.
The ones they added from the bestiary. But with those core races, kins in there, you could do a really good sword and sorcery game with it. I think it's very good for that. So it's very adaptable, I think.
Dragonbane's pretty much the only skill-based system I like.
Yeah, I like the way they do it. I mean, I guess I can't be alone in that opinion because they're using it for more and more stuff. So it must be
they are,
something to that. They're adapting it to other, like the Elric and Trudvang. I mean, honestly, I guess what I know about it, Trudvang was actually an original setting for the original version of Dragonbane way back when. So it's been around a long time. But they're bringing it back.
Yeah, so that makes sense. That'll be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. I did the Era of Altor only because they, in one of the updates, they show you where like the Misty Veil is from the original, like the box set campaign and stuff is set in there and stuff. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Like you actually have a setting for it where you can place those and probably Path to Glory as well.
So we are down to our number one choices. So Matt, you've got just to do a recap here quick, Spire and Heart at number 5, Old School Essentials, Dolmenwood, and Delta Green. I have no idea what your number one's going to be. Unless it's Dragonbane or TCC.
Nope. No, it's a crossover. It's Mythic Bastion.
Hey,
nice.
I don't know. So who owns this book on the And if you want to talk about just, I mean, this is like a One Ring level of quality of book. It is just gorgeous. It's packed with art. The knights are so different and so cool. It really nails this sort of like the Green Knight is kind of a divisive movie, but like if you take it just as like the spectacle of it and the mood that it creates, like this game really does such a remarkable job making you feel like you're playing. It's not like the normal fantasy that we play. It's this sort of blended with Pendragon, but also like weird fairy tale and myths. And it has a very clean system. Into the Odd is pretty simple. But like they've added these like this expanded dice pool that lets you do these special like gambits and different types of moves. Really sort of makes the combat feel much more tactical and way more of a decision tree every time you're doing something than regular Into the Odd, like you see with like Cairn or Liminal Horror. I don't know. There's some kind of special sauce in this one that as soon as I read it, and then especially once people started playing it, Glass Cannon did a one shot.
what's the name of the 3D6 Down the Line is doing it. And then what's the other one that just finished? It's not Mythic Quest. It's oh my gosh, it's gonna bother me now. But they just did like a 7-episode series of it that was really, really good. Mystery Quest. Mystery Quest.
Okay.
The more I've gone back and read it and watched other people play it and seen people talk about it, Quinn's Quest did a review of it that's like just absolutely spectacular. It's definitely a game that I really, really want to play. Again, it's I think similar to a lot of the other games we've talked about, like Twilight 2000 and Forbidden Lands and some of these games. It's this one requires some GM prep. So like before you start, you need to establish the kingdom and the seers and the myths and which knights are in play. But from there, it's all about exploration. And as the person running the game, you're sort of, a little bit more than the players, obviously, because you've established some of the framework. But then like a lot of what's in here is very much up for interpretation. And so but the seeds are so good and they connect so well that as you explore it, those connections are going to be made for you as the GM very easily. So it's kind of this interesting, like the actual sessions are going to be very little to no prep, but you're going to need to do some prep kind of before you start your campaign. And then the campaign has kind of a natural endpoint. And it does have some of that Pendragon, like at the end of each session, you talk about like, is there a time skip here? Like, are we going to continue the next session right where we left off? Or are we going to time jump?
Okay.
So yeah, it's very unique. There's very little lore overhead you would need to know, because this is sort of just a fully new made up reinterpretation of that, kind of post-Roman, pre-Arthurian time period. So in a way, it's like almost post-apocalyptic. It's like these roads are here. We know people that were, different than us made them, but we don't know how to repair them. We don't know how they were made, right? We don't know how these buildings that are crumbling were made. We know, there were people here that lived, that made this great city, and they're gone. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of in that world. So all of that kind of blends together to be something that I would really love to either play or run. I think it's really, really cool. So
yeah, cool.
Awesome. What is that again, please, Matt? What is it called?
Mythic Bastion.
Mythic Bastion. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Mythic Bastion Land. Yeah.
Yeah, it was my number 5.
And I'll post a list in the chat too, so everybody will have it.
I'm gonna script your list.
I'll send it. Yeah. So Dan, you've got Mythic Bastion Land, a D20 game, 7 Voyages of Xylothon, also a D20 game, Shadow City Blood and Neon, a D20 game, Tales of Argosa, which is a D20 game. I mean, I don't. The only guess I have for number 1 is got to be like it's either Hyperborea or OSE.
No, I can't. No. He's already played it.
I play it like 3 times a week.
I know you played it.
Yeah, I don't want to invalidate the list, but no, I have a question before I show number 1.
Question, yeah.
Does number 1 need to exist yet?
Oh, Jesus Christ! I gotta go. I don't know how soon until it exists.
Okay. If we go with number 1 needs to exist.
Yeah.
Jason, my brother.
The One Ring. Okay.
Nice.
Go, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I've wanted to play this game for a long, long time. I've heard a lot of great things. I occasionally see the same criticisms, right? Oh, every story's been told. That's bullshit. That means you have no imaginations and you're an idiot.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I won't beat this one to death because Jason did such a good job extolling it. But that's why I was like hiding a smile when he said it, because it's my number 1. So that being said, if I get to throw in something that doesn't quite exist yet, because I am a turbo nerd that played a shitload of Dark Sun.
Okay.
Shadow Sun Revised is my overall number 1. If this is
Shadow
allowed,
Sun,
bump everything else down.
I would allow it because Shadow Sun is out. I mean, Shadow Sun exists. It's I know the revised is, but
the revised is so much more in it though. And I've been watching Chubby's Patreon and like all the design going into it. I've learned so much reading those posts,
man.
And I think my list can basically be summarized as Free League, OD&D, and Chubby.
There we go.
So
yeah.
Yeah, that's if that is allowed, that's my number one.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're making up rules as we go here. So
excellent. I mean that's what the whole hobby's about, right?
Yes. Yeah, I guess so. No, that's fine. That's fine. So, I mean, and we'll talk about extra stuff and all that. But no, those are really, really good choices. I ran Shadow Sun Revised,
the quick start,
the Colossi, Shadow of the Colossi, or whatever it is. Yeah, and that was fun. But I didn't put that on my list. I'm not a huge like Dark Sun fan personally.
See,
but I enjoy the way that he
Dark
did
Sun
it.
To me,
you know,
like it's so good.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah. No, I get it. It's great. People love it. I mean, I kind of like some of the setting, and all that. I just wasn't really big into it. So
that's fair.
You know, that was you know, that's it for me. But yeah, no, that's good stuff. The One Ring is definitely pretty good. It's not on my list, the One Ring, because it's like I didn't want to have, well, spoilers, but I didn't want to have multiple like Free League games on the top 5. Like I tried to like,
that was hard for me too.
Like I want to run different things. Like and because I know that if I run, like for example, my number 6, right, was Shadow City, Blood and Neon.
Right.
If I run that, right, I'm going to put on hold everything else, like Shadow Sun and stuff like that, because you know what I mean? Because I'm running the Shadow Dark kind of thing. And so that would kind of be it. And so I tried not to like group like those things together. So that's why that, you know, Shadow Sun isn't really like higher, but yeah, cool stuff. My number 1, any guesses?
Well, you just said Free League.
I'm thinking Forbidden Lands.
Yeah. So this was a couple spots lower. This was a couple spots lower, and more recently talking about my campaign.
Yep.
And going to it, I'm really considering switching to this. But if I do switch, my biggest thing with it is that I would run it in the existing, because I do have a huge map and a bunch of lore and all that stuff generated. So I would want to run it in my existing campaign setting. So it would take a little bit of tooling. Normally I don't like doing that. Normally I like trying to run a system in its own setting. But if I switch to it for this, for my game, I would keep the setting that I have. So that's kind of come up on my list.
The game can absolutely support that, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
The game is very strong mechanically and system wise, and it's not reliant on the setting. Same thing with Hyperborea. But it's funny though, like when we were talking last week and you mentioned this, like my initial gut reaction was, oh, that's easy. Top 5. Arcan for Dragonbane, the Forbidden Lands books I haven't played, the One Ring, like, and Basin. And then I'm like, okay, wait, I can't do all that. So,
yep.
He's 2.5 hours away, Paul. So that won't happen every weekend, but you know, he can come out. Edgelord can come out and jump into a game. You can too, Paul, if you want to come out. You're welcome at my table. It's a little far for you. It's probably like a 16-hour drive.
But I was going to say, I think Paul lives by me.
Yeah, but you know, you're welcome to come out. Sorry, I was talking mutual friend of the channel. Dan is 100% right. And Dark Sun rules. Shadow Sun will rule hard. Yeah,
Edgelord is right. Then I am right.
No, Dan's right about Edgelord being right about Dan being right.
Oh God. Mm-hmm. So. Jason. Oh, so my top 5 then, just to go excited and go through them, was Traveler, Call of Cthulhu, Neon Skies, Inspectors, and then Forbidden Lands. So Jason has got Twilight 2000, Mutant Year Zero, Forbidden Lands, Mutant Year Zero, Baptism of Fire, D20, and the One Ring, Mutant Year Zero. I really had thought that Twilight 2000 or the One Ring was going to be your number one. I thought about Baptism of Fire, and the only reason I didn't think about that was because you've been saying for the past few weeks, like your entire top 5 was going to be pretty much Free League.
And honestly, I had to force myself to diverse.
So I've been looking at the Free League list going, man, I don't know if he's going to put any of these on as number one.
My big bookcase over here, the top shelf is all Free League.
Yeah.
It filled up, so I've got another bookcase behind me. The entire bottom shelf is Free League. And so like I really did have to be like, okay, I can't talk about Blade Runner and Dragonbane and Vaesen. And especially because I knew that some of those were going to be, I knew for a fact that Dakota was going to be talking about Dragonbane. There was no doubt about that. So, like if we had time for like the other 5, easily. Mm-hmm. But anyway,
the One Ring not being Mutant Year Zero, I get it. It's a modified Year Zero, I think. Is that fair or no?
Yeah, kind of. It's like a lot of Free League stuff.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is actually. To be honest, it's got. Yeah, but it's like D12s and D6s. It's got
a mix of stuff.
It's got stuff. It's definitely got stuff from it, but I think technically it's its own thing. But I mean, whatever. You're splitting hairs a little bit, but
usually I could be like, yes, this is what the system is. I have only ever played it one time. I've read it tons, but I haven't bothered to learn the mechanics yet because I haven't had a need to. I've just been reading the settings and the different things about it. It's just great. Anyway, no one has any hope of guessing what my number one is, except for maybe Edgelord. I don't think he'll get it either, though. It's Pendragon.
Pendragon? Yeah.
And I love this setting. When I first stumbled across the very thin starter set. In fact, Roger, I think you might have it.
I do, yeah.
I picked it up as kind of on a whim. Stephanie and I were away for the weekend, and I found it at a game store. So I'm laying on the floor reading this. I was like, wow, man. This is really cool. One, it's Knights of the Round Table. It's King Arthur. And Matt just hit upon one of the things that I really like about it. It's post-Roman, very early Dark Ages. It's the boy king. It's Arthur. So there's the Roman ruins. Just Matt said it absolutely perfectly. These great people used to be here. They're not here anymore. We can't replicate any of the stuff that they did. But with Arthur becoming the boy king, he is going to lead us to greatness once more. Obviously, entail. And I did the same thing to this that I did to Baptism of Fire. I looked at it and said, show me your armor. And it was chain hauberks. And I was like, oh, thank God they got it right, man, because that's really important. There are one, and I'm talking about this core book here. Because I've got a couple of the books, and I backed the Kickstarter for the re-release of the original rules. I can't wait to get that. And also, I think this may have been Edgelord's at one time, because I know that I bought his Green Knight Millennium, and I think this might have been his as well. The art is so beautiful in this book, and the paper is like the heavy, thick stuff that you like, and so it's great. But I'm reading through it, and like it talks about armor plates, but it's not plate mail. It's pieces of plate that are riveted onto leather. And it goes out of its way to say this is monstrously expensive. Only the richest of the kings own this. Knights do not own this. Everything else is chainmail. And there are 9 pages on horses in this book. The horses are so important to be a knight in this game that they go into crazy detail about the breeds and the lineage and what it takes to be a knight. But one of the things that I really like about it is that you don't have to play a knight in shining armor. You can be a knight and be a total asshole. You can be Mordred. Mordred was a knight, but he's the villain of the story. So I like that they don't just ignore that. Not every knight was a good guy. I just think it's great. Big fan of the setting, big fan of the game. The mechanics are a little odd. I'm not a big fan of gimmicks. And when I first looked at this, I thought, wow, this is kind of gimmicky. There's skills and passions. Every skill has it's like two sides of the coin. You've got this and that, and they go together.
Yeah.
You can use them, you get penalties, blah, blah, blah. But it actually works really well if you're playing the Arthurian tale. It's Arthur was deeply flawed. Lancelot, everybody knows that he slept with the king's wife. That's a huge no-no. That was the start of the fall of Camelot. There is only one knight in all those knights that was pure to the bone, and that was Galahad. The rest of them all had crazy flaws. So this really goes into that, and I thought, wow, man, this is very well written. So there we go.
Yeah, and the way I've seen it run, and the one game that I was in, like if you wanted to do something that was sort of against, it's not like the alignment. I forget what they call it, but there's like the passion. Or I don't know if that's what you're trying to.
You have to test against the traits.
Yeah. So like if you want to do something that's like against your your vow of chastity or whatever or anything like that, you got to roll for it.
Yeah.
And so you might not even do it, like which is kind of like one of the only alignment systems that like I like, where you can test against it, but then it'll move if you fail, if you make it or fail or whatever, it moves, one way or the other.
Before I forget, sorry. One of the other reasons that I really want to play this is when I was laying on the floor, I had all the characters spread out because I was looking at them all. And I think there are 6 characters, pre-gens that come, 3 males, 3 females. The accuracy of the female knights, I don't worry about it. It's a game. But I had the female characters out because I was looking at all the stats. My wife, who does not play games, she has no interest in RPGs. She leaned over and she said, "Wow, that's badass. I'd play that." And I was like, "What?" So, I mean, damn, dude. It even if we never do, the fact that she could look at it and say, "I like that." Oh.
Yeah. Good stuff.
It's got that whole Crusader Kings 2 thing too. Like the game is meant to be like generations of it's very unique.
Yeah.
Like that whole opposite sides of a trait that add up to 20. So you're like honesty versus deceit, and they're one's a 14 and one's a 6. And if they slide like 13-7, like it's definitely it's really unique. It's pretty awesome. Glass Cannon has been doing a playthrough of that too with Brian Holland from Chaosium. Like it's been really good. And to your
I watched
point,
a couple episodes. It was good.
Yeah, Joe rolled up his character randomly, and his knight is like 5'4", and he's a right bastard, and he's like, this is not the character I expected to be playing when we said we're going to be like King Arthur era knights, but this is who I got, and he plays him exactly how he is on the. And it's awesome. So
it's
really good.
Yeah. I got to play it at MEPA last year, and we played like sort of a goofy, not really a goofy. It's like a weird timed point crawl. It was
the
kind
starter
of a
set one is kind of like
thing.
that. It's a little weird.
It was like you're trying to get like there's this dragon that woke up, and like you're trying to travel all around and get all these.
I think it's the
pieces
starter set one, Roger.
To feed to a panther. So because the panther, if you feed him all this weird stuff and you make it burp toward the dragon falls asleep for 100 years or something. And so it was fine. It was fine. It's just like the whole concept of it was a little weird. I had fun with it. George Hardy was in that game as a player, and him and I ended up splitting because there's a time limit that you got. We ended up splitting up to go get the fur of a baby lion cub. And him and I were the two that ended up going into the right, quote unquote, cave. And George went in and grabbed this lion cub while I dealt with the mother. And George's character is like holding it by the scruff of the neck. And I'm like trying to, like, this lion is like gnawing on my leg. Like, it's just bad. my movement slowed and everything because I got, a bad gash and all this. And I'm like, get the fur. And he's like, what do I do with the cub? I'm like, toss it. Like, get this thing, because the mother's like, is going to devour me in like 2 rounds. I'm going to die. And he's like, brushing this thing while I'm getting mauled.
Get the fur.
To get the fur, right? And I'm like, just get it. And then we like run out of there. And the other guys are coming out of the other cave and they're like, we didn't find anything. And I'm like, go. We got, we got the thing. Just get to the horses. Like, my leg's about to fall off. But so some of it was fun. There was like a lot of like role playing and like trying to convince the queen or whatever that, we got to take your panther with us. And, cause it's her pet and all that. I get it. I mean, it was fine. It was fine, but I mean, I had a good time with some of it.
It's the starter set adventure, Roger. I've played it also. It's kind of like it's not as bad, but it's kind of like the original One Ring thing with it being hobbits. Like, it teaches you the rules, but it's sort of not really the way the game is not really that. I don't think so. I had the same issue. Like, I had an amazing GM that ran it, so it was like real British guy that knew everything about the Arthurian legend. So it was like, oh, this is amazing. But I was like, this is kind of a weird game. It's like not what I expected. Then I played it a couple other times at cons. And I was like, it's just that starter set is just really teaching you the rules. Yeah, it's a little goofy and lighthearted, and so the game is maybe a little different than that. So I definitely, if that was your only experience, I would definitely give it another shot.
No, I definitely figured it was the adventure and not the thing, because the GM was fine and all of that, but it was like weird. Like, I remember looking at the map, and like you have so many hours, and you look at the map, and the map says, okay, it takes 3 hours to get to here and 2 hours to get to here and this, and I like looked at it, and I'm basically like, okay, we have to pick up the panther here, and then we have to go here, and then we go here, and then we go here, and we just make it, because we can't go around and then go back and come over here because we're at -1 hour. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. So I'm like, this is the way you got to go. We got to collect all this stuff, and that was it. And we didn't want to split the group up to go to different places, so that was like some of it. But yeah, I mean, it was fine for what it was. But yeah, I think you're right. I think it was just the starter adventure, and I would love to to try it again. That's something I don't think I could run. It's just not my gig, to run that. But I would definitely play it again if it comes up.
I have 2 things, and then I promise I'm done. Matt, you compared it to Crusader Kings with Generations. I think that is a great comparison. In the rules, it makes room for that. Like, you start out at early Dark Age, where armor is leather armor. I mean, and that's what you're wearing. And so then as time goes by, armor's improved, weapons improve, the horses get better. So it becomes a living campaign like that. And I really like that sort of thing. I like the idea of playing an heir, or playing someone who's the inheritor of whatever happened before me, and we all know about it. I think that sort of thing is very cool, and it is way too rare in Dungeons. In Dungeons and Dragons. I wish that it happened more. And finally, Baron Karza again. You're talking about Bushido. Dude, I think there's been 3 people on the planet that I have talked to that know what that game is. That would be actually my number 1 pick if I ever thought there was a hope in hell of it ever appearing on a table. I've never even met anyone besides me that has the rules. So you mentioning Bushido has made my night, because I freaking love that game. There, I'm finished. Stan, you're up. Go for it.
Yeah, nice. Stan, you're I just want to go over this. So Imperium Valedictum.
Valedictum, yep.
Valedictum, yep. Shadow Rim, Vaesen, and Dragonbane is your number 2.
Yep.
So I have no idea, unless it's like Castles and Crusades, but I have no idea why you would put that on your list.
No, it can't be.
He wants to do
just
another.
So you could check it off.
Sessions.
You could say, yeah.
It's
90 sessions wasn't enough.
Nope. My number one.
Hyperborea.
My man.
Yeah, that's my number one. I have run one session and we didn't finish the adventure because of scheduling and such. I've played in three. All three were with Jeff Delaney himself. They were awesome. I had a great time. And I like the system so much, in fact, that I've stolen a bunch of it to use in my Castles and Crusades game to replace rules there. And I think the system is really good for, for what it is. It's a, D20 level base, old school style system. I think he's made some improvements upon that system. I think some people, Dan will know this better than me, but a lot of people think it's what second edition should have been,
80,
or first edition should have been.
Yeah. It's got a lot of first
agree.
edition and a lot of Holmes basic in it.
Yep, and it is so. You combine that with just one of the most badass settings that you could ever come across. And I told Jeff this the last time I saw him at OSRCon. We were on a break in his session getting a drink, and I asked him something about, I don't know, I can't remember what it was now. And we were talking about the game, and I just said, the way you've done the system and combine that with a setting, like you had like a complete package of just an awesome, awesome game.
I have to ask Stan, is this why you wanted to go last?
No, I wanted to go last because there was a metric ton of noise coming from my end of the chat. Yeah. So I was hoping that would peter out by the time. But it is a good reason to go last, though.
I agree.
Hyperborea is freaking awesome.
Yeah. Hyperborea is a good one. Yeah. 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 It's pretty good. I expected Dan to put that on his list a couple times, but.
Well, if we do a top 5 adventures, I will have to try very hard. Or no, because I've run a lot of them. So, but there'll be some Hyperborea appearances there because I haven't run them all.
See if I can post that. Oh Jesus!
Oh boy, that's a big one.
What is that?
That did not format well.
YouTube does not do line breaks.
Wow. Okay. Sorry, everybody.
We apologize.
Sorry,
Pop it in
everybody.
the description.
That didn't like that. Yeah, I'll definitely put it in the description later, and see what happens. But yeah, so sorry about that. But yeah, I'll post it in the description so everybody can see the list where we're at without having to watch the entire video. Wow, really quick. I'm just gonna run through. Bushido. There you go. Yeah, I didn't think of that, but I'm surprised that wasn't on your list. But yeah, I guess that's probably actual getting it to the table has got to be a part.
Yeah, I would have to photocopy this thing to give. You just don't find these things anymore. And this is the second edition.
Yeah,
and as you can see, it's book 2. I can't find book 1 of this print, so that's how rare they are. But
at some point,
hell of a game.
Find it.
Hell of a game.
Yeah, that's cool stuff. Real quick, my 6 through 10. I don't know if you guys have your 6 through 10, but
I do.
What I did, a lot of this stuff is stuff that I've run or played, that I just want to get to the table. But this I haven't, but my 6 is Shadow City, Blood and Neon. The reason why that didn't make the top 5 is because I'm running Shadow Dark. I've run a lot of Shadow Dark. I've played a bunch of it, and it just it made number 6. But I would like to try it. My 7 is Alien. I really want to run Destroyer of Worlds, which would be probably a 3 to 5 session game. And then Pirate Borg. I definitely want to run a small campaign with this, especially after I got the starter set. This has got a lot of awesome stuff in here.
That's a great box set.
I didn't back that, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, God, I should have backed that.
Yeah,
it's really good.
That's that was my number 8, and then my number 9 is Mothership. There's a few modules that I'd love to run in here, and I've never ran it, so I think that'd be exciting. There's definitely a few modules that I want to run. And this is a weird one that I just want to run a one shot in this because I liked it when I saw it and when I played it, and I think it'd be fun. I don't know how it would work long term. I know it's going to be kind of complicated. I think it's going to be more complicated than the Fantasy Flight dice, but there's this, which is
Fate of the Norns.
you know, children, Fate of the Norns. This is the Children of Era one. Like I don't know, like that made it on the list because I really, really want to try it. I really want to get it to the table. I don't know how well it's going to work, you know, but I'd love to run a one shot in it. And I think that would be fun, you know, with the runes and all that stuff. I think it's gimmicky, and I think that part is going to wear out, you know, after a while, and it's going to end up being the Fantasy Flight dice, you know, issue. But I think it'd be really fun. And so
you and I picked that up at the same time, and it's one of the few RPGs that I've gotten that I very quickly had buyer's remorse on. You know, the city book that Ed Greenwood wrote with him is phenomenal. I mean, that's like take that city and put it in any fantasy setting, and it works beautifully. But you nailed it. It's gimmicky, and I'm just like, man, I love the setting, but this system is just not for me. I would play it if you ran it, but in fact, I think I gave it away at this year's auction. I'm pretty sure I did, and it's one of those things I don't miss. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Like I said, I want to run a one shot in it and give it the old go and see what happens. And you know, Jason, you got your
sure do
6 through 10 that you want to go through quick?
Is Bushido, barely missed the cut only because it's so rare. 7, Hyperborea, without a doubt. 8 is probably going to be either Adventures Dark and Deep, you know, Joe Block's AD&D, or Worlds Without Number. So I'm kind of mashing those two together because I would love to see both of them. 9 is the Palladium Fantasy, which a lot of people don't like. Very, very crunchy. I know that you're not a fan of the percentile system. I first started playing it in 1991 when I was in Germany. The guy that ran our second edition AD&D group was talking to me one day, and he said, I have a game that you will play, that you will love, and you'll never want to play AD&D again. And I was like, oh, boy, those are some strong words, man, because I'm a big fan of AD&D. He showed me this, and I was like, you were right. It is superior in every way to me. It's very crunchy. It takes a lot to make characters, just like all the Palladium. I get that. But it is so freaking good. And one of the things I love most about it is that everyone cannot use the longbow. 2 classes can use the longbow, the longbowman and the ranger. And when I saw that, I was like, well, clearly this game's for me. So there you go. And number 10 is Iron Kingdoms, which very few people know about. It's 3.0, 3.5, but it's more than just a setting for 3.0. It's called Full Metal Fantasy. It's steampunk, but instead of steam, it's magic. I love this world. The world is so cool. The setting is so cool. And it's 3.0, 3.5, which most of us are very familiar with. So you can jump right in and start playing in this incredibly well-written world. I met the creator and the artist. They were based in Seattle when I was stationed at Fort Lewis. I drove out to Seattle one day and walked into the storefront that I thought was a store that wasn't. It was their business office. He was very cool about it, walked me all around, showed me all the stuff, gave me a copy of all the books and signed everything. Matt Wilson's the guy's name. Super cool. So that's number 10. I love it.
Nice. Stan, you got your 6 through 10?
Yeah. My number 6, I don't have the books with me, but they're behind me. My number 6 was Tales of Argosa.
Okay.
Definitely something I want to get to the table for sure. For possible future use for longer campaigns. My number 7 was Adventures Dark and Deep, because that reason as well, because it might be something that I look to for a long-term campaign when my CNC game's done. They kind of get wonky here, but I had Forbidden Lands next on the list. And that's number 8. And then I had Old School Essentials as number 9. and I had Star Wars D6 as number 10.
Excellent.
I've run a shit ton of it, but it's been
yeah
a long time since I've done it. So, and I have a whole other list of almost 10 things. Some of it is you guys' fault. So
yeah,
it was like, oh shit, I should have put that on my list.
Yeah, there's a couple of those.
I got whole shelves of stuff.
I've been doing that now too. Matt, you got 6 through 10, or are you still writing?
No, I have it. So 6 is Dragonbane. I just kind of bumped it out of the top 5 because I've run it and played it some. 7, Call of Cthulhu, same thing. 8 is Pendragon.
Cool.
We already talked about. 9 is Twilight 2000. We already talked about, and 10 is Forbidden Lands. We already talked about. So
man, we have some great lists.
Wow, those crossovers are amazing. We've got more crossovers on the second half. It's crazy. Dan, how about you? You got your 6 through 10?
6, Black Sword Hack.
Oh, good. That's a good one.
Because I think I can get my wife to play and turn her into a gamer.
Okay.
That's
a great reason.
All right.
That's Jason's reason of Pendragon's high up on the list.
7, I think this counts, even though it's the base game I've played a shitload. Savage Worlds of Solomon Kane.
Okay.
So
Nice.
I like Solomon. I like Savage Worlds a lot. I used to play a shitload of it. I love Robert E. Howard. I love Solomon Kane. I want to give that a try. Number 8. My only Borg on the list, Black Powder and Brimstone.
Oh wow!
So,
which
is, I love Pirate Borg. I've run.
That's a weird one because it's not. It's like the most non-Borg Pirate Borg.
It's the most non-Borg Borg. It
doesn't lean into the whole aesthetic.
It does not. It is
world's ending.
It is readable.
Stuff. Yeah.
Unlike many other Borgs,
it helps a lot.
There is high contrast on the pages, so you can see the words clearly. But also, I think the setting's kind of cool. It's it kind of reminds me of Darkest Dungeon. So anyway, that's number.
I don't even consider it a Borg.
Well, number 9 is another OD&D clone, Wolfwald. So
I have that too. That's a good one.
This is an Anglo-Saxon setting, and there's a lot of really cool stuff and really cool monsters in here. My wife got it for me for Christmas, and I really want to play it. And last but certainly not least, even though I know it would be absolutely ridiculous to play because I know about the rules in this game, but the guys that make have Fatal. A lot of passion for it.
He's going to say Fatal.
No.
Oh, there you go.
It's got to be Arduin,
of course. Arduin.
Yeah.
So, I feel like it's a piece of history, and I want to experience it.
I'm kind of waiting until the.
I'm really waiting for Arduin, Bloody Arduin. Yes,
drops.
But I do want to try playing actual, proper, ridiculous rules for everything Arduin.
Yeah. Yeah.
So. I did the one shot at CNY this year, and I have
that
to
was
say,
a blast.
man, it was a freaking blast.
Yeah.
I had a great time.
Cool.
So that's my 6 through 10.
Cool.
And apparently I made Ryan Nikolai really happy. So, and Edgelord Black Sword Hack you can get now because the Mushmen finally have U.S. distribution, so you can actually buy it for not like $200.
Yeah, it's a cool book.
Yeah.
The guy who wrote that does a lot of Kickstarters for. He'll just do lately he's been doing it's Kobayashi or something. He just does PDFs of a lot of them recently, but he makes a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah. The one thing I will say about this is Roger would hate it because the spine is upside down.
Oh God, I'm out.
Looks
I can't
terrible
get it.
on the shelf. Yep.
So I just put it upside down when I store it on the shelf. But
I have a Borg in my
I wouldn't be able to
honorable
sleep at
mentions, which is the Starborg. I really want to play Starborg. You guys seen Starborg?
I've seen it. Yeah.
It's just Star Wars. But
that's JP Coover.
That's JP Coover. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My honorable mentions were
it looks cool. Yeah.
Operation BX by Bloat Games for OSC.
And
so I had Operation White Box on mine.
Okay.
Because I think I'd rather run Operation White Box than Operation BX because I think I just want to run a simple game. You know what I mean?
See, I want to run Hellboy.
Well, right.
Yeah. And then
I want to run Operation Pillbox. I want to run Operation Pillbox as a funnel. I know you love those.
Fuck funnels.
Nimble, yeah, okay, Nimble.
So.
That's cool. Yeah. Man, yeah, I had Dragonbane, Hyperborea, DCC Lankmar. I really want to run that. Vaesen, Amazing Adventures, Stars Without Number, Barrows and Borderlands, Operation White Box,
yeah,
Axe 2, which I don't think I'll ever get to Axe 2, but you know.
My other honorable mention was literally all of the Without Number stuff, because I steal GM procedures from those books, but I have not actually played the game that is in those books.
Yeah.
So
I have Fallout on mine. Outcast Silver Raiders is one I want to play.
Oh yeah,
Hyperborea, just from you guys talking about it, and then Wolfwald. I have that box. I haven't played it yet. That one's I've read through it. It's really cool. So
yeah, I've read through it. It's very, very cool.
That's cool. I've got that Mahaweedle game too.
Do you have the special edition one?
Yeah, of course.
Can I buy it?
No.
Dick.
It's so red. It's so red and gorgeous. But that's really cool. You know, it's really neat. What
Dan's 6 through 10 might have been stronger than his 1 through 5. Wow, Ryan. Wow.
So yeah, I agree.
Wow, really? Did I flip it?
No, there's some cool stuff in there. There's some.
I
cool
like
stuff
my list. I defend.
No, it's right. Yeah, I mean, part of it though, right, is like on like the 6 through 10 list. Like for me, and I think you guys would probably say something similar, right? Like those are the games like you look at and like, yeah, these would be cool to get to the table, but these are the ones realistically that we're never going to get to the table.
Right.
Like there's more of a chance of getting the 1 through 5 to the table.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, you could say, oh, that's like an awesome game, but like, you know, when are you going to play it? Who are you going to play it with? You know what I mean? Like the top 5 are going to be easier, I think, to get to the table.
Yeah.
That's my opinion anyway, but
we all have access to online. I'm looking at what Ryan said, man. I totally agree. But between Kickstarter bringing the most obscure things to life overnight, print on demand means you have almost unlimited access to every game ever made, and online. You know, I live an hour from Roger. The Edgelord lives 2 hours away. He's in Rochester, Buffalo. Guys are scattered. You know, Stan's in Maine. Matt's in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I have no idea where you are, Dan, but I know you're not a neighbor.
Outside
we
Chicago.
can easily jump on to, you know, a VTT and play a game. You know, all these games we talk about, we're never going to get to play them. We can. All it takes is
Look at that.
hours a night.
There you go. Solomon Kane and
There you go,
Bushido.
Jason.
It's BNY 2027.
Hell yes. Okay, Ryan, save me a spot because I will play Bushido, man. Yes.
For the record, I also have Bushido, Jason.
Do you?
I do. It's
Wow.
in one of my zine boxes over there, and I don't
Okay.
want to dig through it, but I do have Bushido.
Yeah, it was originally published, I think, by Phoenix Games.
That sounds
and then
right.
Then it was bought by Fantasy Games Unlimited, and they did a print, and then they quickly went out as like everybody else does.
Also, someone in one of the chats bought it off a Noble Knight while we were here because it was last in stock today.
Oh wow!
wow.
So
Wow, it's awesome.
it's probably Vince.
Who bought
That's
it?
cool. Love it.
Who bought it?
Yeah, man.
Vince went to buy it.
God, it's so good. That's
As soon as Ryan said he was running it.
You know, somebody was talking about like Pendragon is for knights, like Bushido is for samurai.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of samurai and the whole Oriental adventure scene, but Jesus Christ, dude, Bushido is like you're playing a freaking samurai.
Yeah.
Or even if you're not a samurai, you are in that world with that system. It's so incredible.
So here's my challenge to everybody here, including myself. We do this again in a year.
Ooh.
Mid-July next year.
Okay.
And I want to hear
retrospective. Which ones we played?
Well, I want to do another top 5.
Okay.
But I want to, that we want to get to the table, but I want to hear that we played, some of these games that were on our list from last time, and they didn't just get
one
shuffled
shots
around.
or an extended 4 or 5 games.
Well, whatever we want, right? Like, I mean, like I said, like for Forbidden Lands, I definitely want to run it as a campaign. I'm not going to run this as a one shot and call that I ran
Right.
it. You know what I mean? But like something like Inspectors and Neon Skies, like that, those I want to run as like maybe 3 to 5 sessions. I think those are doable. Like that's how I want to run it. So I don't want to say, oh, I ran this as a one shot, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because really on my list is I want to run this a small campaign, 3 to 5 sessions.
And I would love to play in a small campaign of that.
So that means I want to run it as that. So if I just run a one shot of it, I don't count that as checking it off my list.
Right.
Right. Like Call of Cthulhu, same thing. Like I want to run the starter adventure, but that won't check it off my list because I want to run, masks. Like that's my goal with it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I see that. That's my opinion. How do you guys feel about that? I mean, a whole year to play a few games. I mean, that sounds possible.
You're
right?
my DM, dude. Let's go.
I don't get on it.
You know what? Honestly, we had so much crossover. We could work on that together, especially when you factor in 6 through 10.
Yeah, and I would like to get together and maybe play online. I don't know if
I've got Thursdays free.
I don't know if we could play
for me.
If we could play online and do it, or if we want to play it, like stream it.
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you guys are down for that.
I would. I think it would be very boring to watch, but that's just me.
I think that's me too. I feel the same way.
Agree,
I don't like watching.
People
but
like
I'd be
hanging out
happy to
and
be a
watching.
player. So
Yeah. What say you, Stan and Matt? Would you guys play on a stream?
I would play. No, I would play for sure.
Just depends on the night. Most of my nights are tied up with something.
Well, what are you doing
If
Thursday?
I was, usually playing.
Yes, remember he's
I'm either playing or at the
He has
gym.
to play all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need you guys to retire or more. I was just talking about this today with my buddy in PA. I'm like, I need to find people that are available like during the day because I usually don't do a freaking thing during the day. It's at night
working
when
on
I'm
it,
doing
man.
stuff.
I'm getting close.
And I'd love to find a group of guys that could meet, and play during the day, like once a week or whatever. That'd be great.
Yeah. And Edgelord would like to join as well. So there's another player available.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll talk about it. We'll see if
What are you doing Thursdays, Edgelord?
Yeah, I know. That's like the prerequisite. Are you free on Thursday?
Stan, I am almost fully retired, man.
Brutal Legend. Was that the?
Please join me.
That was the Jack Black
game with
heavy
the
metal.
Jack Black.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jack Black game. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Man, I want to go play that now. So Crispy will be watching.
It'll be fun to do a retrospective and be like, I played this and it was awesome, and then it'll be I played this and it sucked. I sold it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
break my freaking heart. Yeesh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Edgelord just wants to. He just wants to play. Yeah. Let's talk about it and see what we can do, because I think I could run this online.
Might just be you and me. But
it'd be just me and you. I know.
I'll give it a shot.
List of games
across the streams if I'm the only one playing, I guess.
Pick's the one I would use as a doorstop.
I'm looking. Well, like here's the thing. Like Forbidden Lands, I'm not going to run online. Like that's going to be my home campaign.
Yeah.
Like so, I'm not going to do that. Call of Cthulhu, I think is going to be the same thing. I don't know if I would run that online. Maybe.
Yeah, I think horror is better in person than it is online.
I agree.
Right. Traveler, I don't know. I go back and forth on that. We'll see. Neon Skies, maybe I can run that online. I don't know.
I think it's doable.
I mean, but there's certain things that I just don't want to run online.
Yeah.
So
I could run Wolfwald online. I could run Xylarthan online. I could totally run fucking Hellboy online.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah.
There you go, Edgelord.
Oh.
Yeah, I will also
That
play
is
Team
the
of
right
Ghostbusters.
Fuck yeah. We got a group. Going for this.
I'll play
This
Team
is
of
awesome.
Ghostbusters. I'm just gonna loop the Thunderbusters mashup song nonstop the entire time we're playing.
I mean, it could be fun. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. The only thing is like the mechanics about like the shared dice and all of that. Like that works well in person when you have them sitting in the middle of the table on the things and people got to grab for them and somebody else is like, wait.
Online, right? Or I'm sorry, one run in person because like part of the mechanics is like the leftmost die is your primary die and that kind of thing. So I think that would just be kind of weird online. So, but there's a lot that could be.
That definitely
online.
would. I mean, you could do it online. It would just be,
but be good, right?
Yeah.
Cameras are important,
but good stuff. Good stuff. Right.
Yeah.
For running online.
Yeah,
you're saying
absolutely.
For like rolling dice and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, even less about the dice, but more
or you
about
mean
like
faces,
facial cues, and engagement. Yeah.
If I run online, I would say cameras mandatory.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about that. I mean, but
no, I agree.
That's the only way. Like, because
how am I going to play Hearthstone then, Roger?
Yeah, right.
Just make sure your account's not linked to Discord.
Yeah. Oh my God, Edgelord, yes. I can still hear that
same thing
in my head. That when they say burrs.
Somebody's I just read something about somebody doing like a remaster of that. That C64 game. So if they're adding multiplayer to it, that's
wild,
man. Yeah.
Really? Like remote, like online multiplayer, or local?
Yeah, I think it's online.
Oh my God, man! I'm gonna take some days off, and we're gonna.
Yeah, man.
We're just gonna rock that out. Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. Look, even Jeff likes Ghostbusters. So yeah. Well, yeah. For live plays, definitely. I'm just talking about if I'm going to run online at all.
Yeah, even online in general.
Streaming, I would still, I would still use that. But yeah, wow. So it looks like inspectors, despite somebody being sour about it, it's getting a lot of votes. But good times. So I think that's that. Yeah. Wow. Great.
This was a great episode.
Great show. Great show.
A lot of fun.
So more top fives. We'll do more top fives. Maybe do not every week, but maybe
mix it up once in a while.
Maybe once a month or something, or every month and a half, 2 months, whatever. Do something when we come up with them. I think top 5 is good. Is a good way to go. But yeah, we'll talk about it. I don't want to dump too much, and have them, do too frequently. But yeah, good stuff. So anybody got anything else? Any final thoughts you want to add to that? Yeah.
There's a shitload of great games out there. Go out and play them.
I agree.
Yeah, go out and play them, guys. Play them. Play your list. If there's something that you're dying to play it. I know that's kind of what we're talking about there. And Edgelord is going to play whatever you run, but guys, run stuff, play stuff. Just get out there, do it, right? Get out there, get on some of the Discord groups, the Facebook groups, and just do it. Play your list, because at some point you're going to get to a point where you can't play your list, or you're going to run out of time. And, I don't want to sound all, Debbie Downer about the whole thing, but it's true. Like, I look at my, stuff, and I start adding up. Oh, I want to run this for a year. I want to run this for 5 sessions. I want to run this. And you start adding those weeks up, and those weeks add up into years really, really quick. And, I don't think I've got enough time to play all the games on my shelf. So, yeah, top 3 evil alignments. But
lawful evil.
We'll see. But yeah, play your list, really. And that's what I want to, just put out there, play it. And that's what we're going to try and do. And that's what you guys should do. So thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody.
Thanks,
see you guys.
See y'all.